Oh my god, I'm here. Sorry, guys. The baby did not want to go to sleep. This button. Sorry. Hi. Hello. Welcome in. Who's here? John, Oob. Welcome in, guys. Hi. Yippee. Yeah, I was just writing. I thought I was just write for the night, and then I'm supposed to stream tomorrow morning. It's Thursday, but I have an appointment at 11 o'clock for the eye doctor, which is my very first time ever having an appointment at an eye doctor, so that's exciting, I guess. I made it 37, almost 38 years without having to go to the eye doctor, so that's a feat, I suppose. Technically, it's an eye. Anyway, sorry, dumb dad joke. Anyway, I literally opened this when I set up my timer. I opened the Sword of Magic editor, and then I went downstairs and I got a drink. Then I came up and I dealt with crying kid, and talked to Jana for a minute. Came in here and it is still opening. So note to self: I need to open this way sooner next time. Yes, this is Outer Wilds music. I literally just added this track or the soundtrack on here. Never played the game. Okay, I have played the game, but I played for like 5 minutes. So I will take the shame, I suppose. The music is amazing. The only song I know from it? Yeah. Is it this one that's like it gets really epic? I think it is. This is like the motif song though, so this like runs through the whole soundtrack, I believe. This like shows up in like almost all the songs. But yeah, it's really good. Such a good song. Also, this is the last of the whiskey from the bottle I just bought. I think I drank like 3 glasses before I started streaming, and everything else I drank on stream. So there's that. We went to Costco today though, and I actually looked at other whiskey, so I was thinking about buying another bottle, but decided I was gonna wait and go to somewhere with a better selection. Loving the music. This is not the one that gets super epic, I don't think. There's like a final track. Here, let's go look actually. We'll play it real quick. Oh, it's open. Here, we'll do this while we wait for it to. Oh my god, there's so much music in this playlist now, which is good. I just added like 3 more soundtracks too, or 3 more albums. I don't know which one it is. Is it this one? No. This is, I don't know what this one is. Is it this one? I think it's this one. I think this is the like super crescendo one. No, yeah, Traveler's the one we were just listening to. This one's called Into the Wild. Listen to this one. It's so good. It's like, it's so good. It makes me want to play the game so bad. I don't know. Like I need to play the game because the soundtrack is so good. There's no way that track right there isn't like a jaw-dropping like moment in the game. You know what I mean? Like it must just be like tear-jerking. It's got to be. Anyway, that's from Outer Wilds. I always want to get it confused with what was the other one that's Wild something or Outer something? It's the Fallout like one. That was my first guess. Yeah. Also, hi Arrow. Sorry, I couldn't say hi. We were listening. They were talking about the Travelers track from that album, which is like really, really good. But that one is like Travelers is like one of the like early tracks, and then that's like the end game, like you finish the game track, and it's just so good. Outer Worlds, thank you. There's Outer Wilds, Outer Worlds, and I always confuse the two. Yes, this is Outer Wilds. Sorry, I'm trying to drink my whiskey today before it gets too watered down. I really should go find my whiskey stones. I think they got thrown out. Okay, so I was thinking about the time manager, no, the event manager, because we had this roll new calendar thing. I was trying to figure out how the heck we were going to do this, because we need to insert the seasons in and not use and not like let them get shuffled, right? So I was thinking what we should do is, because we know that seasonal events are 5 days, what we can do is if it's winter or fall, we can check this. We won't add 20, we'll add 15, or we'll take 15 minus that or whatever. And then we'll add that in there, we'll shuffle it, right? So that shuffles the first 15 days and we can have events in there, right? Then what we'll do is, if it's winter or fall at the end of this, we'll then add 5 more events in that are Witch's Eve or Frostfall, depending on which one, right? So that way we have a shuffled 15 days, and then at the end we'll put the rest of the events in. That means though, whiskey stones. Whiskey stones are like literally like rocks that are like really dense. They're not super porous at all. I don't think they're porous at all, actually. You know, I don't remember, because the one I had seemed like it was kind of porous. Anyway, and you like freeze them. I think maybe they might be porous because you're supposed to soak them in water and then freeze them. I don't know. I had one a long time ago. It's been like 15 years probably since I used them. I don't know. I got them from someone for Christmas or something, and at the time I really wasn't a big whiskey drinker. I mean, a little bit, I guess, but so I didn't really use them a whole lot. But anyway, they're just like stones that you freeze and then you put in your whiskey so they don't dilute your... So I guess you wouldn't soak them in water. That would be dumb. So yeah, you're probably just supposed to freeze them. Anyway, you freeze them and put in your whiskey. They keep your whiskey cold longer so you can sip on it, but it doesn't dilute the whiskey, so you don't lose the flavor. However, a lot of the times, depending on the whiskey, you want a little bit of dilution just because it like takes the edge off the whiskey, so it's not as much of a bite when you're drinking it. But this whiskey is so freaking good. Like, I don't want it diluted too much. A little bit, like a little bit's fine, but like there's like a, I don't know, there's like a fine line between like where you can like taste the peanut butter in it and it's so good, and then like it dilutes a little too much and then it's gone. I've only ever had chocolate liqueur and peppermint schnapps. That is a sad life. Those are fine. They're not the best. Which I made into a sundae. That's pretty good too. Can you drink oob? I know people are allergic to alcohol, and I'm sorry, but I just assumed you were. Not to make light of it, but if it's not made with fruit, hey, fair enough. Yeah. So I think I'm trying to think of like maybe like you probably like something like Bailey's with like Bailey's is like a creamy liqueur. It's like it's super sweet. Really easy to drink, but you can drink it with like a milkshake or something like that. It's really good with that. That's really, really good. I can drink, but choose not to. Hey, Arrow, more power to you, man. I totally get that. Absolutely, totally respect that. I actually stopped drinking for a long time, and now I only do it like occasionally on like social occasions usually. And I like doing it on stream because it's, I don't know, it's like relaxing and like inhibits me a little bit. So it doesn't inhibit me. What's the word? I am less inhibited. That's what I'm looking for. Which is nice, which is good for like streaming and stuff because you're a little more like loose, I guess. Not that I need that, but you know, parched for life. The alcohol market for my gen is so small. I mean, largely due to small population that can drink. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's interesting. I've actually heard that alcohol. So when as a millennial, alcohol was a big thing. We all went to parties and drank alcohol. That was like the thing we did. And so when I hit like my mid-20s, or more like my early mid-20s, is when I like made a bunch of friends and I was living in like a city and everything, and I was, you know, in a better space, or in a better place where I could actually like buy alcohol, like, and had money to do it. So we had parties all the time. We used to play D&D, and we would just get wasted. We'd pretty much play until we couldn't function anymore. Because we were just too drunk, and then we would just drink for like the rest of the night. And I would get, what I thought was like crazy hungover was actually really dehydrated because I wasn't drinking any water with my alcohol. And I learned that much later in life, which was unfortunate, because I'm actually, you know, it's probably a good thing, because those like super like hangovers was the reason I kind of stopped drinking, because I would like get so sick. I was like sick to my stomach all day long the next day, and I'd be like in and out of the bathroom, just like not good. And then finally I would like get enough water down to like probably fix the dehydration, and I felt better. But yeah, that's kind of the reason I stopped drinking. So probably a good thing. But then later in life, I was like, I got dehydrated when Abby was born, actually, because I kind of forgot that you had to drink and take care of yourself when you had a baby. Because we were like there for like 24 hours or so, and I just hadn't done anything for myself, hadn't ate anything or drank anything. And I started getting the exact same feeling as I got when I was hungover. And I was like, oh my God, I was never hungover. I was just dehydrated the whole time. Bro, really the person to order H2O2? I drink water without my alcohol. You drink water without your alcohol. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, drunk D&D was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun people in Tucson that we used to drink with. We had a lot of fun in Tucson. We actually had friends in Tucson, and then we had a baby and we stopped having as many friends, and then we moved to Washington. Now we have no friends. We're actually thinking about doing a board game night here soon, and we had literally had like 2 people to choose from to like invite over, and we're like, which one should we invite? It's kind of funny. When I'm high, Final Fantasy is so dang fun. Yeah, so that's where I am not experienced with. I don't partake in that, but not for lack of trying. I actually tried once. My little brother, so I tried when I was a teenager, and I like coughed up a lung, and it was like so bad for like the next like probably 3 or 4 hours. Like my chest just like hurt, and I could like barely breathe. And I was like, I know you cough a lot when you smoke, but I like couldn't believe that how much it hurt and how much I was coughing. And I was like, God, I'm such a baby. Like, this is ridiculous. So my friends all left and went and did something. They were car hopping. I'm actually really glad I didn't go. If you don't know what car hopping is, it is illegal, and it's stealing stuff from people's cars that they left open. I had dumb friends. This was before the drinking part, luckily. So none of us were drunk, but we were all smoking. Anyway, they all left and like bailed on me, and I was like, dang, I feel like such a baby because I can't like handle like a single like, you know, puff or whatever. And then I tried again years and years later. My little brother moved to Washington with me, and it's legal here, so we can do it here recreationally. So he went and bought some, and we tried it, and I got the exact same feeling, and I was like, this sucks. Like, I don't think there's any getting past this. And then I like started Googling it, and I think it's because I have asthma, and when I inhale it, it like flares up my asthma, and I have an asthma attack. So it's like super not fun for me to do. So I have it for medical reasons. Hey, more power to you, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you can do that. I'm sure that helps. You don't do the Zaza? No, I don't. I mean, like I said, I've tried. I can't say this out loud probably. Hold on. Let me think about how to say this in a way that doesn't incriminate anyone but myself. I want to try gummies, and that's the plan. I plan on trying gummies, but the thing is, I have children, and I don't want to try them alone, and I don't want to try them when I would put my children at risk, because I don't know how I'm gonna react, and I don't dare do that. So one day when I have time away from my kids, and I have a partner to do them with, I couldn't imagine who. Maybe we'll try it. We'll try it, but we'll see what happens. From my experience, getting high for a while didn't feel great, but has since gotten better. Fair enough. Reminds me of the nerd rope. What nerd rope? What are you talking about? my brain went to the candy, like the Nerds Rope candy, or is that what you're talking about? How come late night streams always turn into us talking about things we shouldn't be talking about, like conspiracy theories? It's a 300 milligram of THC nerd rope. I assume that's a whole lot, but I don't know because I am very much a noob when it comes to THC. But that seems like a whole lot. That's what I'm afraid of, is because I've heard that like if you're like a beginner, or if you're like if you're like new to it, it's really hard to find like beginner stuff because everything has become so concentrated and strong for people who do it all the time, because that's obviously the market, right? So they don't make stuff for like beginners to like try out, right? So I'm so afraid that like buying like a single gummy is just gonna like kill me, you know. Not kill me, but I don't want to be out for like 12 hours, you know, completely out of my mind. So yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, just depends where you live. Yeah, well, I live in Washington where it's legal, so here it's probably pretty bad. So I'm a little worried. And I've heard stories of people going into like shops and being like, "Hey, I'm new at this. What should I start with?" And then like messing with them and giving them like this like stupid strong shit. So I'm a little worried about that. But luckily, I think in Washington, because they're like regulated dispensaries, I think there's a good chance that I'll get like, well, you know, people will give me like a legitimate like, you know, starter kit. You know, I don't know. Where I get my weed, the gummies, chocolates are 10 milligram, which one or two is good for beginner. Really? I've heard when you take gummies, you should start, if you're like just starting out, you should cut them into like 4 pieces and take like a quarter of one, and then wait like an hour and then take another one if you feel like you need more, which is how I kind of plan to do it. I'm also hoping that I have like a week to like figure this out when we decide to try it, but I don't know. I also think my mom used to smoke when she was younger, and she told me that she kind of hated it. Like she really didn't like it. She did it a few times and really didn't like it because she like, it just wasn't her vibe, I guess. She liked drinking a lot more. And I have a lot of anxiety, so it kind of worries me a little bit because I heard that it can like affect you if like give you more anxiety if you have it. So I'm a little worried about that. I have health anxiety, so if I think there's something wrong with my body, my brain's like, yep, there is, and then I manifest. Like I can literally manifest like pain and stuff when I think there's something wrong. I've done it before. I thought I had a hernia once, so I was like literally like it doubled up in pain on the couch for like 3 days. Then I went into the doctor and they were like checked and they were like, yeah, you don't have a hernia. I don't know who told you did. It was a different doctor that told me I did. They just like gave like a surface level examination and sent me to the like a surgeon or whatever. The surgeon's like, you definitely don't have a hernia. You're all good. And the pain was like gone. And I was like, shit, I just totally manifested that. Like that was all in my head. It's weird. It's crazy. So anyway, yeah, anxiety for me is not great. So that worries me a little bit. Anyway, we're way off track now. This is definitely not game dev talk anymore. My brain ain't normal. My silver level changes daily. Hey, yeah, fair enough, dude. But I get that. In other words, how much milligrams it takes for me to get high. Yeah, fair. More whiskey, more dev. What's up, Mikanta? How you doing, man? Yeah, a little more whiskey. This is all I have left. I finished the bottle. It was only like the little tiny bottles because I wanted to try it, so. I'm not that much of an alcoholic, but. Anyway, so 2.5 milligrams, fair enough. Good to know. Yeah, I feel like 2.5 is probably a good place to start for most people. Okay, what we're gonna do is a select note on this. Yeah, I actually wasn't gonna stream tonight. I was doing some writing. I'm writing a lit RPG, and I was talking, Jana and I were trying to find a new book for me to read because I was reading one right now and I'm just like not into it. I keep doing that over and over again. And so I was gonna post on Facebook, and I saw like someone tearing apart Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I was like, I'm gonna go type what my grievances with this book, and then all the comments were like tearing the OP apart about it, like leave your opinions to yourself, and I'm like, okay, I forgot everyone loves this book, and I should probably just shut up. So I decided not to get into a Facebook war today, which was very responsible of me. I thought. This needs to be, what is this going to be? This is going to be season. And how do we get the season? We get time manager. Do we already have a variable for this? Yep. Sorry, we just did all this yesterday, or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, but I'm already like forgotten where everything is. But anyway, yeah, we were talking about that today, and I was like, I should just work on my own because I can't seem to find a lit RPG that I really like. But then Gianna found me a couple books that sound interesting, so I think we'll see. I'm trying to finish a novella that I picked up for this month. 'Cause my goal is to read a book a month this year, which would be really big for me. Last year, I read like 2 books or 3 books or something like that. So this year, I'm trying to get 12. And Gianna's goal last year was like 60, and she did like 120. And this year, she's already at like 30 something, so she's gonna hit like 200 easy this year. It's insane. Just don't get it. Oh, sorry. Last year's goal was 10 for Gianna, and she read 145, and she's very good at eavesdropping. She's just listening in on my stream like it's some public affair that she can just be involved in. Hi, Gianna. What's your goal this year? Her goal this year is 150. And she's at 38 already. And we're only 2 months in. Still need to finish DCC. This is Gianna. This is the girl I married. I read Henry like 30 books a month. Oh, hey, if I counted kids' books, last year I probably beat Gianna. Because sometimes I read like 3 or 4 a night. I've been collecting One Piece manga and currently have 71 of 110. That's awesome. That's a good collection. I love books too. I like buying books more than I like reading them, unfortunately.
I do both.
Like, you guys might be able to see my art book collection back here. You guys see this? Yes. That's my art book collection. The left side is all art books. The right side is actually mostly tabletop RPG books. I have a few books. And they look super glowy and cool under the light back there.
Alright. Night.
You going to bed? Love you. I won't stay up too late since I have an appointment in the morning. Is he asleep, by the way? Okay, good. The sound worked. Called it. Good night. Anyway, yeah, so if it's spring, we'll do 20. If it's summer, we do 20. If it's fall, we do 15. If it's winter, we do 15. I do feel like one day we might just switch this to 15 and put 2 new events in for spring and summer, but I think it's fine for now. Plus, I really don't want to build events that require a whole week of in-game stuff to participate in. I think it would be cool. Like, what if we had like a parkour event, like holiday or something, like the Summer Games Day or something, and we just like put like maybe in the racetrack or something like that, we put in like a bunch of like cool little like obstacle things you can do. Maybe you're like timed or something. I don't know. Cool stuff like that. That'd be kind of fun. So we have like a summer games thing. Maybe we have like archery too. We have like moving targets or something. You have to hit the targets and get points and get like prizes. That could be really fun. We could even just have like an archery day. Like maybe spring has like an archery day. That'd be fun too. Anyway, whatever. We're very much feature creeping a game that is so far feature creeped already that like it's never going to be finished. So adding more things to it right now is a bad idea. But I do like the idea that once we have this whole system set up, that it's super easy for me to go in and just like make a new sub level and just drop some stuff in and be like, cool, this is a new event, and then just add a new data asset in here for the event and set it up, and then just drop it in our event manager here under the random events, and then it can just pop up on the calendar. And we can just have random parkour day events or something. Like that'd be really fun. And it should be pretty easy the way we're setting it up. Okay, anyway, so we're gonna set up these extra days and we'll leave ourselves 5 gap days for fall and winter. And then what we'll do is, once we've shuffled all the days in here, we will do an equal. In UE5, this is not the default one, so I just have to scroll to it. But it is in UE4, which is really nice. We can do, this is fine, I guess, and then we'll just do it again. This is fine. I was trying to be like sneaky about it, but there's no point. This would be fall, this would be winter, and then we will do a for loop on this one. Actually, we can put this in the same place and just do this. For loop, we'll do 0 to 4. And we will do this guy. Add 4 days back, or 5 days in, and it'll be well, this is stupid. I have to have an actual like thing for this. I can't just select it. What? Never mind. I guess we can't do this. I mean, I guess we can make a local variable for it. Sure, I guess that's fine. And we'll just do set seasonal event here. And here, this one would be Witch's Eve. This one would be Frostfall. We don't have a Frostfall yet, so we'll just leave it blank for now. That's fine. S&M Triathlon. That'd be a way to do it. That'd be cool. I like the Summer Games name for it, but I know that's also what they use in what's it called? Overwatch. Okay, let's add a comment on this and say shuffle our events. Calendar events. And then this one, we're going to do add in any seasonal events we have for this month. Leave space for seasonal. Oh my God, seasonal events. I have not drank enough to type this way. This does not make sense. Okay, and then this one is empty. We can switch this to Frostfall. Let's just go make the Witch's Eve one. So when it's, I just know what's going to happen. I know that I'm going to forget about this and we're going to be like, why is this doing this? It'll take forever to fix. So let's just make it right now. We should have a pumpkin. Should we just do a mask? Let's do the pumpkin mask. I guess that's fine, right? Witch's Eve. Hope Festival for fall time. We will rebuild all this around later. This is gonna be fall. Nope. Fall. Okay. Now these two are built in now, which means we don't want to add them to our actual calendar events in here, which is fine. I hate to say it, but I think the next step is going to be building our calendar widget, because I think this is working now. I guess we need to make some more calendar events though. We can go make some. Let's duplicate our book signing one and call this, let's do noodle cart. We really need to add this in just because we built that noodle cart like years ago on stream, after unlocking it through like a donation goal, so it needs to go in the game. I don't even know if we have food for the noodle cart, but it's whatever. We have world famous author. Should we do a popular noodle cart from the Dragonlands? How's that sound? Serve the Farlands inhabitants exotic cuisine. We need noodles. That's all we have is raw noodles. That's fine for now. And this would be like event map noodle cart, I guess, but we don't have anything to load there, so it's just gonna fail, and that's fine. We don't care about the seasons. It can come all year round. We don't care about month days. We don't care about times. Actually, I guess this does have times, but I don't think we should do times. Should we do times? Should they just be there all day, or should it just show up at certain times? Let's just do. I'm not even sure how I feel about the times for the calendar thing. I feel like it should just be an all-day thing. Widget. Is that funny? That's a funny term. Likelihood. I feel like this should just like show up every month. I think they should just be there every month. For now. And I also think we should go open. I could tell there's a dog in here somewhere making noises. The book signing one, I think we're gonna switch this to the also 100%. Oh, this is 0. We need to make this 1. Same with this one. 1. And again, I think we just make this all day. I'm not entirely sure if we should ever have a calendar event that doesn't have. Hang on, I just unplugged my monitor. I can't even see what I did. Okay, fixed it. Hi, I'm back. I have a power strip under my desk, which when we set it up, Jan and I were both like, this is such a good idea. It's gonna keep all the cables like out of the way, and it does. Like they're all like running under my desk for the most part. There's a couple that are like hanging down that we need to tape back up or strap back up with a Velcro strap thing. But I bump it with my knees all the time and knock the cables out. And luckily the one that comes out most is just this monitor here, which is where the chat is. So yeah. Nothing important is plugged in under here. I don't think my Go XLR, which is really important because if that gets unplugged, then all my audio and stuff breaks and I have to restart my computer. And my PC itself is plugged in like to the wall. But yeah, everything else is plugged in there, which is a pain. Anyway, okay, we have some events we can put in these two to like shuffle that. And then we can also check the winter events. Or seasonal events, I mean. Oh, let's go back into the global event manager. We have random events in here. We should get rid of this. Calendar events. Add the noodle cart. Cool. Okay. I kind of want to just like print the events at the end of this just to like double check this is gonna work. Let's do this. Let's go sequence. And let's grab our calendar events. And let's do a print. We're going to do an append here. And do day. That's our index. Should we do this +1? Sure. Okay, and then we'll do event. Cool. Now when we hit a new month, we should be able to see this. The question is, since I can change the season, should we force roll a new calendar month when we do that? I feel like we should, right? Like, I don't think that's gonna hurt anything. It'll just happen again when we hit the actual first day of the next season. But that's okay. So let's go. Oh man, we need to open our chat window again. We need to get the global event manager from the game state. Cool. And now we cannot test this in here. Actually, we can. We just don't have a save system in here. But I think we have a global event manager. We always have a time manager. Okay, I think we can test it in here. As long as we test it single player, I believe it should work. And we like multiplayer, like this doesn't really need to be replicated. Well, yeah, I guess it does, and I think it is, but well, no, it's not. But it will need to be, and the reason for that is because we need to be able to pull it locally for players when they interact with the calendar. Luckily, I don't think the calendar is going to have any interactions on it. Like, I think you'll just open the calendar and see what the events are, and like that's it. Okay, so now if we do set season fall, it pasted all the events, but I didn't take a screenshot and I didn't read them fast enough, so I have no idea what they were. Let's try it again, I guess. Day 1, book signing. Day 2, nothing. Day 3, nothing. Day 4, noodle cart. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, nothing. We have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 5 Frostfall events on the 10th through the 14th. That should be the 15th through the 20th. No, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. My brain. 16th through the 20th. So we got this kind of wrong. How do we do that? We should have added 15 empty days and then added 5 more days on the end. I mean, we're very close though. Like, this is already like working, which is pretty wild. I'm happy about that. So we're adding no, yeah, that should be right. We're taking 15 days minus the current calendar, adding those empty days in, and then we're adding 5 more days at the end of this. Right? How's this not working? So we had 2 events, right? We ran through 2 events, we added them both. Now we have an array of 2. Then we take, it's fall, so we take 15 minus 2, which is 13. So we had 13 more days in. That gives us 15 days total. And then that should give us 15 here. We shuffle those 15, and then we add in 5 more, 0 through 4 more times. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That should be 5 more. So how did we end up with that? How is that wrong? Right? I feel like we have this correct. I don't know what. We are clearing the calendar. Ad break. Noodle. We could go add the noodle card in with an NPC. I feel like it needs to be a Draken NPC, but we do not have a Draken NPC. Why does it say snooze 2 out of 3? Do you have so many snoozes in like 24 hours? Are there ad breaks on Twitch? I don't stream 2 days in a row ever. So I don't know why that happened. Whatever. Anyway, ad break in a few seconds, guys. So if you want to subscribe to dodge the ads, you may. Unless you're already all subscribed, that's fine. Okay. I'm still very confused by this. Right? Like, I don't get it. Like, how come... What am I missing here? I don't know. I'm confused. Should we print? I mean, like this should be pretty obvious, right? We run through our calendar event list, which is 2 things. We add them both to our current calendar. Current calendar is cleared here. Then we take our current calendar length, which would be 2 at that point, and we take 15 minus 2, which is 13. We do 1 to 13. We add in 13 new empty things. Then we shuffle those, and then we add in 5 new seasonal events. So we have 15 plus 5, which should be 20. So we should have 20 events. So how are we missing 5 events? Right? Like, what's the deal here? This makes no sense. Did the exact same thing. Day 1 event nothing. Day 2 is book signing. 3, 4, 5. Noodle cart is day 6. 7, 8, 9. 10 is Frostfall. 11 is Frostfall. 12 is Frostfall. 13 is Frostfall. 14 is Frostfall. How are we not adding enough days in? I am very confused. Okay, let's add a print here, I guess. And we're going to print the number we're adding in here. The index we're at, right? This should be the index. And then we're going to turn this print off. Actually, we'll leave that plugged in. Turn this one off. They don't want to print that. And we're going to see what number we're printing to. I'm so confused. Like, why is it not printing up to 15? I wonder if we're like, is it overriding something? I don't know what it could be overriding though. So yeah, index 0 and 1 are taken, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just 8. What? Why would there only be adding 8? Okay. Let's add a print in here and see what the hell we're printing. I mean, how could we possibly get anything other than 13 in here? Oh, I know what's happening. As we're adding things to this list, this number is going up. So each loop, it's checking the last index again. You know, I have to admit, I think that's really stupid. This should just be a cached, like, when this gets inputted, it should just be one time. I understand how this works. You can literally open it and see how it works. So the input comes in every single time and it just calls this again, right? Like sequence just, I don't know. Whatever. It loops this over and over again. So it's local and it doesn't store it throughout the loop. But it's still stupid. Okay, that's fine. We know what's wrong. Easy to fix. Annoying, but easy to fix. Nope, you were not supposed to go there. You. Cached, remaining space. Event space. Okay, leaving a note for myself because I know one day I'll go, why did I cache this? This seems stupid. Cool, and this is a function, so this will reset this cache variable at the end of it anyway. Okay, pretty confident this is gonna work this time, but this was a 1, right? Not a 0. Oh, and we can take off. Where were we? Oh, we already took that print. Oh, this one. Take this print string out. Man, we're so smart up in here, you know? We're just a bunch of smart cookies, just figuring stuff out, making video games. sometimes you like forget. I feel like game devs do this a lot. I feel like we forget how much we know, especially indies, you know. There it is. 1 through 20. Perfect. Calendar system is done. We just have to actually like visualize it now. And then the entire calendar system is working and we just have to build our random days. Oh, we need to load in the winter events. We'll have to set that up next too. Actually, yes, loading in, yeah. So each day we have to set up loading in the calendar events. That's easy. That shouldn't be a problem. We should technically be unloading them as well, but I think what we'll do is just make sure that the new event for that day isn't the same as the last day. And if it's the same, then we won't do anything. We'll just let it be. And if it's not the same, then we'll unload it, or if it's empty. But yeah. Anyway, like, you know, like when people ask you like, oh, what do you do for work? If you know, or like what you do for fun. I guess if you don't do this for work, then I kind of envy you. But you're like, I make video games. And it just seems like you kind of, it just feels like really trivialized, you know, like, oh, okay, cool, you make video games. And some people are like awestruck by that, right? They're like flabbergasted that you make video games, which is cool. And it's fun to like explain that to people. But at the same time, it's like, I think sometimes we like trivialize our own work because it is kind of wild if you actually sit and try to like explain something to someone. For example, I was working with GDTV recently until I think this has kind of been thrown out now, unfortunately. But I was going to be making a blueprint program for them or with them. And I was like writing down all the stuff that you needed to do because I was just going to do like an intro to like blueprints and like programming and like prototyping and stuff with blueprints for Unreal Engine. And I started writing all the stuff down and I was like, it's so easy to teach blueprints. Like there's just not that much to it, you know, like people can figure out like the basics in like, you know, a day. It's easy. So I was like, how can we even cram all this stuff or like fill a whole program for worth of stuff just to teach the basics? And then I started writing everything down and I was like, holy shit, I know a lot of stuff about blueprints. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into this, way more than you think there is at first glance. And if you try to like explain anything like that to people, like my grandpa is really fascinated with what I do. He's like, he was a carpenter his whole life. And like, then he did like, he ran like his own construction business and stuff. Yeah, what's up, Summon? Welcome in. I am back at it. I think this is 2 days in a row. I'm actually really liking this late night stream schedule, and it's way easier to be motivated to stream at this time of day for me. So I'm really thinking this might become a more consistent, regular thing for me when I do late night streams, and it might just become like I do like 3 or 4 late night streams a week and not any more morning streams, but we'll see what happens. Trying to sleep, but I can't sleep. Yep, that's I know that plague. That sucks. The stupid pre-interview crap is driving me nuts. Yeah. Are you the type of person who gets like anxious about it? Or like nervous about it? Because that's definitely me. It doesn't matter like how much I know or like how confident I am in it. I also hate interviews. Yeah. I'm really glad I didn't have to interview for this contract job I did for Orca and over Hosley. Because like, yeah, I was more like, hey, well, I can work with you, you know, I can make art for you if you want. And he's like, all right, cool. That was my interview process. It's so handy when you're like in the indie scene and you live stream. If you live stream and people know your game or your games or whatever you made or whatever, and they like know what you're capable of, it's just so useful in the indie scene, you know. I imagine this wouldn't help. Actually, I know this wouldn't help at all in AAA scene because I actually applied. So I literally was in the Crystal Dynamics studio talking with the devs there about using Unreal Engine for Perfect Dark and for the new Tomb Raider game, and talking about how like they're going to implement it and like how their like blueprint and C++ structure was going to work, and like they were explaining it all to me, and I was like making friends and stuff, you know, and like then I was like had to like showcase the game that I helped the girls like make or whatever and taught them in like, you know, a couple weeks. And everyone got to watch that showcase and everything. So I was like, cool, they see what I was able to do. And then I like was talking to like the hiring manager, and she's like, yeah, you should definitely apply because we're looking for like a blueprints gameplay programmer. And you're like, you fit the vibe, you live like real close, like you're people have already like, you know, why is it snowing? What season is it? Why is it snowing? Uh-oh. I think we need to fix our system. Anyway, we'll fix that next. I think I never turned it off from like always snowing since we did the Crossfall. Anyway, I went home and I was like, I guess I'm applying for a AAA studio. Here we go. Like this. And I like, I don't really want to work in AAA, but there is like this part of me who like wants the experience to like working on a really large team and doing some AAA stuff and just seeing how it's structured and stuff and seeing how like big boy games are made, just like honestly, just doing it for like a couple years or like for one project or whatever, and then being like, cool. And maybe if I love it, I'll stay, but if I don't, then like, I'll just go back to making indie games and I'll take what I learned, that was like the plan. But then I didn't even get a call back. I even called like 3 times to talk to the hiring manager I talked to, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll look at the application. Nothing. So like, yeah, it sucks. This role is for an AI architect role, and the interview questions around AI are all over the place. Yeah, I can imagine that. I've been on both sides of them. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't even get an interview, but I was nervous the whole time because I knew I was going to get one. Like I literally was like talking to like the one of their tech guys. They have like 2 tech guys there that like are like in charge of all the tech things. There might have been 3 of them, but 1 or 2 of them that help us when we do the Girls Make Games stuff there. And I was talking to one of them right before like we left. We were like getting all our stuff cleaned up, and they were helping us like push all the desks back in place and everything. And I was like, well, I applied, so maybe I'll have an interview. And he's like, oh, I'm confident you have an interview lined up. You'll be back here soon. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, you're good. And I was like, sounds like I'm a shoe-in for this job because these guys like know me or whatever. And I didn't even get an interview or anything. I didn't even get like an email for like thanks for applying. Nothing. Which sucks. And it was cool too, because when I was talking to them, it was like basically the role was I would essentially build things in Blueprint to prototype out systems and then work with the C++ engineers to like build it into the actual like project, which was kind of like, it sounded like a cool role, but at the same time I was like, this seems a little like it seems like a strange way to do things. Like I feel like would be way better to like work with the C++ engineers and decide ahead of time what needs to be C++ and what should be Blueprint, and then like abstract from that, right, to like make child Blueprint classes or like build level designer functionality and stuff like that, and like get the designers out there like working in Blueprint fast, but I don't know. I'm sure whatever they're doing is working because they're AAA and they've probably got their finger on the pulse, and I'm sure they have a direct line to Epic and they can ask questions and everything because it's Crystal Dynamics and they make lots of money, I'm sure. But yeah, people forget all the time, got to be persistent until they tell you to piss off. Yeah, and that's probably what I should have done, but I think part of me was like, I wasn't 100% in it, and I don't know. I don't know. I think that I was a little bit discouraged when I like didn't get a call like right away, like cause I was expecting it like within the week, and I didn't get anything and then nothing happened, and then I called and they're like, oh yeah, we'll get around to looking at it, and then nothing happened. So I was just like, I don't even care anymore. And also there's this weird thing where like when I'm at like Girls Make Games in the Crystal Dynamics like building or whatever, there's like this crazy like, oh my god, I want to work here so bad, like this would be so cool to be like work in an actual like AAA studio with a whole bunch of people like-minded like developers who like love video games or whatever. And I love the idea of that. And then when I'm away from it and I'm sitting at home working and I'm like, I love doing this and I don't want to have to get up every morning and drive to Seattle to go to this office every single day, because that would really suck, and it's like a 45-minute drive, an hour and like 20 minutes or so with traffic. And like I think about that and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to just sit on my ass at home and like work on what I want to work on, and if I have to pay the bills or whatever, then I can like find contract work or something to supplement that. But I don't know, they reached out to me for this role, so we'll see how it goes. I think you got it, Summon. The fact that they reached out to you is a good sign. And now it's raining. And now it's raining and snowing. What the hell is happening with our weather manager? All right, I guess it's time to look at the weather stuff. I don't remember how the weather even works. We have the weather manager and weather effect. Okay, I remember now. Kind of. Oh, okay, we're getting, okay. We're getting the season from the Sky Sphere. We should probably just get this from the time manager. That would probably just fix a lot of issues right away, because I think the Sky Sphere is not being updated properly, and it's only being updated when we actually switch seasons officially, not when we cheese it. But this should fix that issue. So now we should actually see current weather correct. And then we need to find a way to stop the weather too. I think we can do like, I think we just literally just set weather and it'll trigger rep notify, which should handle everything for us. Love that we have this loaded weather with 2 spaces after it. What are we doing that for? Who knows? Let me catch up real quick with something before you sleep, if I can. One of the many roles this is one of the many roles I'm interviewing for. Summer in sales, summer as a lead principal engineer. Got a few contract side opportunities lined up as well. I need more time in the day. Yeah, don't we all, man? And I have an MCP server running in the UE5 editor. MCP. What's MCP? MCP server running in the UE5 editor. I don't know what that is, but that's cool. Model context protocol. Okay. It allows AI agents to access my stuff. Oh, okay. Cool. I guess that checks out. I get it now. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Honestly, like, props to you for jumping on the AI thing when it, became relevant, and contributing time to that, because that's not something I was interested in doing. I did consider it. I was like, this should probably be what I do, because it seems to be taking off, and I'm sure there's going to be work here and there's going to be a lot less work everywhere else right now. But I don't know. I'm also like, I had the opportunity to like do the YouTube thing, and I had the chance to do like the UEFN thing. I feel like there's a lot of opportunities that pop up where I'm like, I feel like if I jump on this, I can make some money, and there's work to be had here. But at the same time, like, I also, my whole life, I've just kind of followed the passion and followed the thing that I really love doing, and somehow it has worked out up to this point. And so part of me is like, don't do it. It's not worth it. For me personally, like, I don't think I want to invest like a year of like learning whatever to learn like UEFN and learn AI stuff. Like, I don't know. And none of it really like super excites me anyway. So I'm like, I know there's money there, and I'm sure I could make money on it if I put the time into it, but I just don't want to like jump ship on this. I want to just invest everything I have into game development, because that's really what I love doing. And I feel like if I just stay true to it, then it's gonna turn out, and it has so far, and it's been pretty good. And even this year's actually been surprisingly good. Like, I'm really happy with where I'm at this year, mostly thanks to Worka and getting that opportunity, but and hoping that goes really well for them and there can be more. But anyway, yeah, it's everywhere. It's massive. I think it is a massive thing. Yeah, I'm still doing UEFN, still working on the project. I got the Epic Mega Grant for. Oh, Summit, I know you're trying to go to sleep, so this might be this might be a terrible time to ask you about this. And feel free to just message me later when you have time if you want to. I'd love to know more about it. I want to know what you're making. I know we like chatted about the Mega Grant, but I don't think I remember asking you what you were making. I may have asked you. I don't know. I have a bad memory, but if I haven't, I'd love to know. Maybe I'll go back and check our messages. See, we probably talked about it for an hour and I just forgot. Anyway, you should get some sleep, man. If you can. If not, you're welcome to just keep chatting. I mean, I'm not your mom. You can do what you want to do. Okay, we have a rep notify here. So I think we can just straight up set this. Let's go back to our time manager. We have changed season, which we're calling in this Sky Sphere. I think we're gonna do. Let's do a select, I guess, and we'll grab our. I don't think we have the weather manager in here.
just subscribed with Prime.
What? Someone subscribed. Red, thank you so much. Lurkin while working. Hey. That's great, man. Thank you for lurk. And thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate it. Has evolved into a massive thing for UEFN. That's cool. I also applied to speak at Unreal Fest, but who knows if that'll happen. Dude, it sounds like you got a lot of stuff in the pipe. That's cool. In the what's the phrase? You got a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff in the chamber, the barrel. I don't know. You have a lot of stuff planned. That's cool. That's good. I find that like honestly, when you like I know people are like I overwhelm myself by like overloading my plate sometimes, but it seems like when I load my plate up, that's when the opportunities pop up for me. Like when I start like overreaching like and start doing more things than I should be able to, like one of those things will like pop off, and then I can kind of quietly like push the other stuff like off to the side and focus on that thing. So I think that's a good method to go by. Keeps me busy. Yeah, good. I mean, it's good to be busy too. Yeah, I get that from my grandpa. I think it's a game. I think most game devs have this same issue, or we just can't sit still. Like I have a really hard time just like taking a day off and just doing nothing. I have always found myself back on the computer working on something, even if it's something that's like not important at all. It might be ADHD, but like my grandpa has it too, and we're not blood related. He's my mom's stepdad, so like I didn't get it like from him, so it might be ADHD, but I don't think he has ADHD. But he cannot sit still either. Like he'll like get home from like work, and because he right now he's like building a garage for some millionaire guy, and whatever. Anyway, he like gets home from work and he like sits for like 10 minutes and like talks to my grandma or whatever, and then immediately he's just like, well, I'm gonna go to work on the computer now, and that's because it's on his laptop and works on his website. And he's like 76 or 7 this year, maybe 78. I don't know. I can't keep track. He's getting up there. And but yeah, he like always has to have a project going, and I'm like the same way. Like I think it'd be really weird if I didn't have some sort of game project like in the chamber like that I was working on. Like I couldn't even imagine. I think that would be the weirdest thing if I just like finished Swords of Magic and I didn't have another project going. Like I feel like the day I decide, okay, this is 1.0, Swords of Magic is launched, here's our marketing, here's our stuff, whatever, here's the bug fixes, whatever, and I'm done with it. Like I guarantee that like the day that I like I'm like, cool, that was the last bug fix, we're finished now, I'm done with this. I guarantee that day I might not announce it, but I'll definitely be like, what's the next project, and I'll be immediately be working on it. There's no way. Like I'll probably honestly already have it in like production. Like there's just no way I'm gonna have just no projects on my plate. Always have to have something cooking. I don't know. Also I also go to the local makerspace and use their laser cutters and CNC machines. Hey, that's cool. I actually just saw a TikTok video for like a Seattle like makerspace kind of thing like that. It was more like a creative community thing where they had like tables set up. They're like, you can come draw here or like work on your laptop. And I'm like, I guess that would be kind of cool if I just lived in Seattle, like in downtown Seattle, and like could just like, you know, ride my skateboard or bike over or something and just like work in tandem with other people. That'd be kind of neat, but I don't live close enough to do something like that. I didn't take you for an ADHD type person, more like ADD. That'd make more sense, at least. Yeah, so I used to say ADD, and then I got like someone like snipped at me in like a comment section somewhere and said that ADD is no longer like an acceptable term and we don't say it anymore, and now it's ADHD. Yeah, it's all ADHD now. Even if you don't have the I think it's hyper, right? The H stands for hyper. At least that's what I thought it was when I was younger. But yeah, I used to say ADD and then it's ADHD. I don't know why it matters. I don't know why people get so bent out of shape over it. It means the same thing. I don't like, everyone knows ADD is the same as ADHD. Like on a surface level, everyone knows it's the same thing. Unless you are like diagnosed with it and you're like really in the space, then you might know the difference. But attention deficit hyperactivity. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I knew it was hyperactivity, but I was just hyper. Yeah, whatever. so yes, hyperactivity I guess is different than just saying hyper, but yes, yeah, I am not diagnosed, but I'm like 99% sure I have ADHD. I just like there's just it's too obvious I have it. I have too many of the symptoms or whatever, the signs. I mean, I guess it's true that most people can't tell the difference anyway. Yeah, like what is the real difference really? Yeah, I finally got diagnosed and the meds get me super focused. You know, I just have like I do like the fixation thing. Like I get like hyper focused. So like when I sit down to work, everything just like goes, like I get tunnel vision, and I will literally, it depends on how excited I am. Like this is why the MMO thing was a bad idea, right? You guys saw what happened with the MMO thing. This is straight up like ADHD, like I think at its core is I got a cool idea. I hyper fixated on the idea for like a week or two. I couldn't let it go. Finally decided, screw it. I'm just gonna start working on it. We're gonna make a channel in the Discord. We're gonna like focus on this. I brought people in, and then I took a break from it for a couple weeks, and I was like, shit, this is a bad idea. Why am I so like fixated on this idea? I need to like drop this because this is like a 10-year project I just started up, and I was not prepared for this, and this was a bad time to do this. And so I dropped it, pissed people off, and now I'm like, yeah, this is straight up like, this is my ADHD like brain doing this. I'm snoozing this ad break. You have 5 minutes. 5 minutes to talk about ADHD, and then we have to go back to work. When this ad break comes back up, we have to cut whatever we're talking about and go to work. Got it? Okay, good. My girlfriend isn't diagnosed either. Still working on that. Yeah, and that is why I'm doing so many damn things now. Yep. I mean, hey, that's a good thing, I guess. As long as you're able to balance it, I think. Hyper focus, finish, and then move on to the next hyper focus target. See, okay. So if meds could help me actually focus on something I didn't want to do more, like swords and magic, and stop starting new projects, that would be useful for me. But I don't know if I don't think meds would actually do anything for me, but maybe. That is what the meds help with? Really? Maybe I should go to the doctor. I don't know. I just always thought like there's no point in getting diagnosed because it's not going to change anything. Just knowing that I have it, like officially knowing I have it, doesn't really matter. Like I didn't think it would matter. Maybe I should go talk to a doctor. I don't know. Surprisingly, I didn't talk to my therapist about having it when I had a therapist a few years ago. Several years ago now. It's like 8 years ago. I went to a therapist for a little while because I had really bad, my health anxiety was getting really, really bad. And I like could not like sleep at night, and I was like constantly like in like a state of stress and like panic. So I finally went to a therapist, and that helped a lot. But then something happened. We had to like cancel appointments or something, or their schedule changed and my schedule changed or something. So I couldn't go back for a while, and then I just stopped going. But I'm feeling much better, so I don't need it anymore. I mean, I think everyone needs therapy, but I don't desperately need it right now. I make a list and then reference it and get the things on it done. Yeah, that would be nice. Once I start something, I focus on it and get it done. Hey, that's huge. That can be a curse. Like sitting down and binge watching anime. Yeah. Start a single episode. Next thing I know, I'm done with 3 or 4 seasons of it. Yeah. So yeah, it's tough for me because like before Quinn was born, before Quinn was even like a thought, Jana and I had a really good like work like focus time. Like we would get up in the morning, take our daughter to school or whatever, and then we would just work. Like we would just focus in, and we were just both like focused on what we were doing. Jana was doing like whatever, like data entry stuff, or like building things for Swords and Magic, like the item data, stuff like that, or like writing dialogue sometimes, or like putting NPCs in or whatever, stuff like that. And I was just focused on working on whatever I was working on. And I think at the time we had other people on the team too for a little while. So that worked really well because I was just focused like all day on that. But since we had a baby, now it's much less like straight focus time and much more like focus for 20 minutes until I'm interrupted by something, and then get up and take a break and go help with whatever is going on, and then come back and try to get work done again. So it's a lot harder for me to like sit down and stay focused for like a full day of work like that. But yeah. So there's accountability with it. Yeah, true. Yep. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to go see a doctor. Maybe it would help. You have 4 kids. How what's your youngest though, Summon? Do you have kids around my kids' age? Mine are 3 and 11. So the 11-year-old's fine. She pretty much keeps herself busy. 4 to 10. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the biggest problem is that Jana also works now, and now she's not working for Swords of Magic. She's well, yeah, she's not working on Swords of Magic. Now she's working for Game Dev TV. So a lot of the time it's like she's also working like pretty much every day for at least a few hours a day. And so when she's working, it's really hard for me to like focus because I'm like, then Quinn's like running around playing next to us. And I'm like, okay, like, because he has to be in the room with us pretty much the whole time while we're working because we can keep an eye on him, right? So there's a lot of like distractions there. So it's harder for me to focus, which is why I kind of like streaming at night because I can just focus on chatting with you guys and not doing any work. I don't know. But yeah, most of my ADHD things, like other than like the hyper focus and like getting like fixated on a new idea, is like forgetfulness and like jumping jumping tasks too fast. Like for example, Sundays like are we have 50 seconds to finish up this conversation. I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be interesting what your streams would look like on medication. Right? You guys would just be like, this is really boring. Kendra doesn't even talk to us anymore. He's just getting work done. I have no idea. I have no idea what they would be like because I've never obviously tried it. Oh no, ad break. Yep, ad break coming up, guys. Just a heads up. You can sub if you want to dodge the ads. I have a streaming setup and up and ready. Got me a new camera, microphone, and a streaming machine. Hey, that's huge. Haven't pulled the trigger on that yet. Get on it, man. I'd watch. Twitch does not let me sub. Oh yeah, I forgot you're broken. you gotta fix your Twitch. Well, see you on the other side, Summon. Can't subscribe to Turbo either. That's dumb, man. If you can still hear me. Ad has started. Sorry, everybody. Which means I have to get back to work now and stop talking about ADHD and other things. Okay, we were trying. Right. We were here. No, we were here. Yes. And we're going to get. I don't want to do this every time we do an on rep. So what we're gonna do is in event graph. Before this is server check. We're gonna do what people say we should never do and get actor of class. And we're gonna do no, not time, weather manager. And promote this to a variable. What's my deal with like random capitalizations lately? This is the alcohol, which I'm done with. No ad. Oh, it took too long. It took. So Twitch does this stupid thing. It counts down when the ad's gonna start, and then waits like another 30 seconds. So that way, like I stop talking to you guys when the countdown gets done, and then it doesn't actually start. Oh, John, I missed your message. Gotta love Firefox. Control M to mute the tab so I don't have to listen to these horrible ads. Bingo. I'm like, I have to like hyper focus on remembering to answer John's question because my memory is fleeting and I will forget about this in like 30 seconds. As soon as they start working again, I'm gonna forget to answer his question. Ad break's finished. John, are you back? I have to answer your question before I forget. If there's no game state for some reason. This is stupid. We should delete this and do a delay. Oh, you know, no, we can't do that. I think this is here because this is a situation where, like for test levels, I was gonna do a delay until we got a game state, but we're just gonna skip. We're just gonna bypass it. Hopefully it's okay. We'll find out, I guess, what happens. It's fine. Anyway, John, hi, welcome back. You asked me what my White Whale game project was. I don't know if I have one anymore. I have like a couple like big projects that I've like have been wanting to make for a long time. I guess that would be like my White Whale, but I think it forever it was always just an MMO. Like I always, so when I was like 18, 19, I started learning RPG Maker, and I found this net gaming like script plugin thing you could use for it, which basically let me run a Hamachi server and do multiplayer in RPG Maker. And I started making this game called, well, the first iteration was called Eversorrow Online, and then we kind of like skinned it, I guess, because I don't know, I guess we just got bored of it. I don't know, I don't remember what happened. There was a reason. And it changed to, what was it called? Shit. Man, now I can't remember. I don't know. But it was like, Eversorrow was like vampires and werewolves and stuff. It was very like Twilight, because like I think Twilight was really popular at the time. And my cousins actually convinced me to read the book at the time. So I was like, vampires and werewolves are so cool. I don't know. I was like 18. But then we switched it to a different one. I can't remember what the heck it was called. Age of Exile is what we renamed it to, and we ditched the vampires and werewolves thing. But it was called Age of Exile, and it was the idea was the whole game took place on Atlantis, and as it was sinking, I would never make this game now, but this was like the original MMO idea. But basically, like as you leveled up and got to the next zones, I don't know where my brain was, but I was thinking like it'd be cool if you, instead of going back to earlier zones as higher level and killing lower level players, because that's annoying, you just sunk the game world like visually or whatever for like those higher level players, so they couldn't go back. Such a stupid idea. Anyway, I would never do that again. Or I'd never do that now. But I think like ever since then I've had this MMO like dream, right? But recently when I finally decided to dive into it, I kind of had this like moment of clarity where I realized like I don't know if I want to make an MMO, because like I think I've learned, I think I've learned my lesson with Swords and Magic, that I don't want to make a game that requires me to work on the game forever, right? Even like a few years is too much. Like after you like release a game, I really want to release a game where I say, okay, there's the game, it's launched, people can buy it now, I'm done, right? Like I want to just wash my hands of it and move on. So an MMO is like the worst idea for me, since I just don't want to do that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm afraid of that idea, though that's always been my White Whale. So I think now what it is I've had this idea for a long time for a like Sims-like game. It's just like a life sim. The idea is like a multiplayer, like almost like Animal Crossing meets The Sims, I guess, somewhere in the middle of those two games. I'd be multiplayer. You can just hop into people's like city or whatever. It's a whole city, and then you have like procedurally generated NPCs that like have like procedurally generated like personalities and looks and everything, and like likes and dislikes and everything. Like everything is just generated on the fly basically, and they like spawn in your city. And if you see someone looks interesting, you can talk to them, and then they like get added to your like, hey, this is a person that like we've talked to before, like a cache, like you like caches them, whatever. And if you don't talk to them again for a while, then they'll just like disappear, right? They'll just like, maybe they moved away or whatever, who knows. And then more people just get generated. So that way we don't have like tons of NPCs we need to like lock in at all times. I don't know why that seems like important to me to explain, but whatever. And then you live in an apartment building, and the idea was that there's like 20 or 30 like different jobs you can have, which you could like climb the ladder or whatever. The idea probably spawns from playing Stick RPG when I was little. I don't know if you guys ever played that. It's like a super like bite-sized like slice of life fantasy, or not fantasy, like life sim game. It's a flash game. Yeah, it was really stupid. But I remember like thinking like this is so cool. Like I have like my own like little character, and I can like go to the gym and get stronger and like level up and like go to the bar and like increase my charisma and like all these different things you could do. And so I always want to make something like that. But I just think like it'd be cool to take like the charm of Animal Crossing, like the simplicity of it, mix it with like the life sim elements of like of the Sims, but like obviously have like one character you control directly, and then like mix in some of that like maybe not RPG elements, but like sort of like, you know, stats and attributes or whatever, by like leveling up certain things, whatever, and then like maybe dating and having like romance options like that with the NPCs, and then obviously like inviting friends to your world and going out to like eat and stuff. I don't know why, I just think that that's really fascinating. I've always wanted to make something like that. So like there's like that's like a dream project of mine. And then I also have a Redwall project. I don't know if you guys ever read Redwall.
Ryan just followed.
Ozzy, thank you much for the follow. Appreciate that. I'm so glad I have alerts now and I know when people do things. It's so handy. How did I ever live without this? Yeah, anyway, I was obsessed with Redwall when I was a kid. It was like one of the only books I could read like all the way through. Like even to this day, I really struggle to find a book that really catches me and then I actually like can like stay invested in long enough to read through. Maybe that ADHD thing, that medicine would actually help a lot with that. Because I'd love to finish a lot of books I have. I have this one book, I can't think of what it's called now off the top of my head. But oh my god, it's like, and it really is like a book that I would love to read. It's like about assassins. I love assassins, like especially books about them. The Night Angel trilogy is like one of my favorite like trilogies, like books ever, by Brent Weeks. And I actually was able to finish that. Actually, I don't think I finished the third one. I don't think I even started the third one. Anyway, whatever. Moving on. So yeah, Redwall was huge for me as a kid, and I would love to make a Redwall inspired open world survival crafting game where you like build up like an abbey, for example, and you like recruit other woodland creatures to like work at it or whatever, and you have to defend it and go out and gather resources. And I think that would be like the coolest freaking game, and I would love to make that. And it was kind of planned to be like the next project, but the more I thought about it, the more I kept thinking like this is going to be huge, because one, it's like there's a lot of the times when I make games, I like to just rip the ass or the animations, rip the animations from asset packs that I bought, right? So I can just use those animations for creatures and things like that, and then I can just buy like packs of animations for like humanoids, and that's like super handy because it saves me from having to animate everything. But I couldn't do that for this because one, I would need, like, I really want to do the what's it called, the mouse legs that are like have the extra joint in them. My brain is failing me, whatever that's called. I want to do those legs, right? It's gonna like click in my head in like 3 seconds, or someone in chat's gonna say it right now. But anyway, I want to do those legs for the animations, and I can't find animations for that anywhere, so I'd have to do all the animations myself or hire an animator, which is very expensive, and I don't think I can afford that. Maybe if I did like a Kickstarter or something just to like hire an animator for it, maybe, but I would need like a proof of concept first, and I don't think I can do it. I'd also have to do all the art for like the characters myself, which would be a lot of work, though I'm kind of open to doing that a little more. And also, because the world would be like woodland creatures, the environment, I couldn't just grab any environment pack I wanted, because all the environments would have to be super detailed, because I'd have to scale them up like 10 times, right? So I'd have to build probably the environment pieces myself too, because like just like a stick would be like a log for these guys, you know. And I want to make sure it keeps the scale. Like I want to be true to like the woodland like creatures and like Redwall and stuff. So I don't want to like just fake it and be like, oh, it's fine, it's just mice in a regular world. Like I think that's lame. And I want it to be like you chop down like a sapling or whatever, and you get like all these logs, and you have to like carry them. Like I want it to be a little more immersive. So, and cooking would be a huge aspect of it too. So we would need like giant berries and like big pumpkins and stuff like that you're like harvesting. Anyway, moving on. It would be a lot of work, and it's definitely a white whale project as well. Jesus, there you go. There's like 30 minutes of just me ranting about that, and I miss like so much chat. MMs are all about the server infrastructure in the end. I mean, there are a lot of MMOs these days where you never see more than 50 people at a time. Yeah, for me, it's the MMO, building the MMO is not the scary part. The server part, not scary to me. I think Encanta's Redwood backend would be perfect for what I want to make. I don't know. I still love the idea of building like a teeny tiny MMO. Like oh shoot, what is that game called? Hang on, let's see if I can remember. Actually, I don't know if I even have it. I think it's in my wish list. Hang on. There's a game that's like, it's like a teeny tiny MMO. I might have taken it off my wish list because it's been on here for so long that I was finally decided I just didn't want to play it. Hold on. Oh my god, there's so many games on here. Does anyone else have like 1,000 things on their wish list that they need to like clean up? I think I took it off. Oh. Yeah, it's not here anymore. Anyway, it's like an MMO, but there's like, and there is like other players in it, but you can't interact with them. You can use like emotes, I think, to like talk to them, and that's it. But it's like the MMO's like, or the game, it is an MMO, like it's always online, but you only see like a few players here and there, which is like the point. Like they're other travelers, you can't talk to them, you can't even like really group up with them or anything or play with them. They're just kind of in the world with you, which I think is like interesting, and I think there's like something there around those like lines that I would like to do, where it's like very much an MMO light, to the point that like whatever. And then I like the idea that just like I could just launch it and just let it go. I also like the idea that we build like some sort of like cheesy system where instead of having a server, players just like host a game and then other players connect to that game automatically. This has major problems, I know that. And then it just like switches servers when the host leaves. So the game like kind of always stays online. It would obviously not be able to have any sort of like persistence like in the world that would like get changed, whatever, like, because if all players logged off, then everything would be gone, right? You have to host a new game, so it'd have to like there couldn't be any world persistence. But I still think that'd be kind of interesting to do some of that. Moving on. Mostly I just don't have to deal with server costs, because once your game launches and you have to pay for a server, then you have to charge players in some capacity to make sure you can cover those server costs. And if at any point you can't pay for them anymore, you shut down your servers and players can't play your game anymore. And that just feels like a bad way to build a game, in my opinion. I just don't like that sort of whatever. Sad to hear about Ashes of Creation, but the stuff they were implementing is pretty standard stuff you would want in an MMO, not a hard thing to do with UE5 these days. Yeah, it kind of sucks. Redwall Poggers, for sure. Well, the reason most people launch MMOs is because you can get recurring revenue. So your idea of like washing your hands of it is cool, but it's got a shelf life once people have bought it. If they bought it with an MMO, it's got sticking power. People will buy skins and XP boosts and stuff with multiple characters, but it allows you to get recurrent revenue off the game. But you're right, it does require dedication to the game. That's why most people will build a team to maintain it long term. Yes, and I would be okay with if we had something that was like special enough that we can actually afford to pay a team to just work on it and I could move on and just manage it as a business. I would be fine with that. I just don't know if I want to build something that turns into that, you know, like that just, it seems like that's, I don't know. Honestly, just hiring like 1 or 2 devs probably to just keep doing consistent updates wouldn't be crazy. But like, I also don't like the idea of building an MMO that like turns into what World of Warcraft has, you know, like I don't want to like grow an MMO and keep adding more and more like depth to the content and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. I like the idea of building an MMO like classic WoW, right? And then it's just done. Like, here it is, it's finished. Play it until you get to the end and then like play it again with another character or whatever. But eventually it's done. And the reason I'm like, I know that's like not a business model, right? Because it doesn't make any money and you can't pay for the servers anymore. But like the reason I think like I want to build something like that is just because classic WoW does have like a finite amount of content. Like you eventually do run out of content. And I like the idea of being able to build more content into an MMO and like when I want to, but I just don't want the ball and chain, you know? Like I don't want to build a game where I am trapped under it, because that's how I already feel with Swords of Magic. I felt like I've been trapped under it for the last like 5 years or so. And I'm just so ready to push the damn thing off my chest, you know, and be done with it. But it's just so far away still, and an MMO is just 10 times worse, you know? So it just seems like if this is already a struggle for me to finish this, And I am solo now, you know, I can't afford to hire anyone else to help me finish it at this point. I don't know if I could ever do, like, I just don't think I could ever do an MMO. I don't know. I love to build the MMO infrastructure with all the stuff I've done in the cloud and UE5. That'd be fun. Do need to keep up servers and put in extra stuff into the game regularly to make people bored. Not make people bored though, which does need to be sustainable. Right, and that's the problem. What's up, Ozzy? Hi everybody. For ADD, not sure if it changes the work much, but honestly, it makes me work way more modular and systematic. Yeah, I think same. I didn't say you didn't. You do need to sustain it. Yeah, I think you guys are saying the same thing. Hopefully you're not arguing now and I just missed it. You do need to sustain it. My point is that the difference between releasing a game, releasing a service is recurrent revenue. Yes, well, it's not just recurrent revenue, it's also recurrent updates, right? Because as a service, you have to provide the service, right? So if you launch a game as a service, you have to be providing the service to get the money. And that's what scares me, right? I like the idea of providing the service and like doing constant updates. Like I have no problem doing that with Swords of Magic for a long time until the money dried up. And that's what part that scares me, is that eventually people are going to like maybe stop buying your game, right? Or playing it. And I also don't like that, you know? I don't know. I don't like having to like charge people more money. For example, I just accidentally paid for World of Warcraft again because I meant to cancel it. I meant to cancel my sub in January, early January. I went to cancel it, and it popped up and was like, do you want to just put it on hold instead, and you can get all of your whatever it's called, your like monthly like cosmetic coins or whatever for the game. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess I can just put it on hold, and then that way when I have time to come back and play again, I can turn it back up and I'll have all those cosmetics I can go unlock, and that'll be cool. So I did that, and then I forgot about it. And I came back up and I paid for it again. So I technically have another month of WoW right now, and I haven't even opened the game. I'm really tempted to go in and ask them if I can get a refund and just get my $15 back, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just play it. Who knows? But anyway, like I've played WoW for like the last like 6 months, right? And I paid 6 times $15, which is what, $72? Is that right? I don't know. Whatever that number is. It's a lot of money. And it's like I could have bought a whole AAA game. I could have bought like 5 games, you know, for that cost. And I mean, I got the money's worth. Like I played a lot of it, but I just don't like the idea of having to charge people hundreds of dollars to play your game for a year, you know? Like that just sucks. It just sucks. Like I love that people can play Swords of Magic, pay $25 right now for Swords of Magic, or get done sale for 15. Who knows? Who cares what the sale is? But then they can play it forever. You know, I just like that model. I grew up on that model. I just think that's the model that people should be making. I just don't agree with subscription fees and stuff like that. I don't know. Personally, I just don't like it. Swords of Magic style game, but with heavily able to mod, let the community build it. You know, I actually think that would be a really cool idea too. I've considered it. I've considered doing like almost like a Gary's mod thing. You know, like Gary's mod is just like a sandbox to like do whatever the hell you want in. Consider doing something like that, but like with a fantasy base, and just letting players build whatever the hell they want, and trying to make the mods like very modular. Obviously, I think most mods are modular. It's like the whole point. But like making it so players can literally just go in and like slap on whatever mods they want to make whatever the game they want. I always thought that'd be really interesting. So you can just go in and be like, well, I want a magic system, so let's go grab this magic system mod, and I want like this world generation or whatever mods, so I'll just grab this one, and I want to do this thing and I grab this mod. I think that'd be kind of fun. I don't know if it's a good idea, but it is very much like a build a platform and let players mod it, so you're literally employing the community to build the game for you, which has kind of like a big drawback where like if the game doesn't blow up and take off, then no one makes mods, and then your game was a flop and then you wasted time. How much time? Not a lot, but still it's still wasted time. Anyway, I don't know. With an MMO, hope you didn't take that as mean. Oh, I don't think Red did. I just woke up, so the lexical part of my brain is still booting up. Yeah, I don't think Red gets very offended very easily. I was gonna say he's Dutch, so I don't think that I don't think that it's a problem for him. There's been times when Red has said something to me and I'm like, oh shit, is he mad at me? And then Jana's like, he's Dutch. And I'm like, oh yeah. It's good. It's good. Anyway, with an MMO, 1 to 2 would be enough. Unfortunately, you need wouldn't be enough. Unfortunately, you need people who can maintain the backend structure, especially since UE itself is not great with MMORPGs because of the difference between persistent and transient data. UE5 is great for transient data, but persistent data is too heavy for that. So you really want to roll a persistent server. Yeah, so I don't think 2 would be enough if you kept your MMO small, because 1, maybe you're right. Maybe 2 wouldn't be enough. I think if you, like, you would probably need 1 person to just handle backend stuff, but I don't know. Honestly, I feel like you could probably just keep someone on as like on like a retainer kind of system where you like pay them like, hey, I have an issue with the back end, so can I, get an hour of your time or whatever, and you just pay them $50 an hour or $100 an hour, whatever they charge, to just like fix any issues. And it takes them 3 hours, it takes them 3 hours. You just pay them for their time, right? To fix any issues and manage anything new you need to add on or whatever. I think that could work just fine and be very much affordable within the framework of like an MMO. And then, but I think the real money is hiring devs to keep making new content, because you would need to be building new items and new like zones and new resources and new features and things like that, right? Like, think about World of Warcraft and how many years it's been around and how much content they've added and how much junk they've like there's like literally thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of content in World of Warcraft. And that's like without even grinding. That's just like going through all of the old like expansions and like playing through them. Honestly, there's like 1,000 hours just in classic WoW. Like, if you just want to go experience leveling up each class, like, and you take your time doing it, and you're not like following like the rested XP guides and stuff, like you're not like gonna shoot through that game super fast. Like, it takes a while. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of content to be built in an MMO, and you'd be paying those devs pretty much full-time wages to just be building new content all the time. And that's what I don't want to do. Like, I don't know. There's like some point where it becomes less of a creative endeavor and more of just running a business. And I just don't want to, I don't know if I like that. Also, I just think part of me is just, I get too bored of projects too easy, I just want to move on and make new things. Like, I don't know, this might just be a me thing, but I'm like going to be 38 in a month, in like 10 days or something like that, 14 days. And like, so a month and a half. Sorry, my brain just gets so hung up on things like that, and I can't get past it until I stated what I meant to say. Anyway, I'm only 38, and I have one game under my belt that like was impactful, right? That people played, and it's Swords of Magic, and I've been working on that since I was like 30, right? So it's like 8 years ish of working on one game. So if it takes me 8 years to make one game, that means I've got, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 more games left in me, right? Before I'm kind of like in retirement age, and I don't know if I'll be wanting to make games anymore. Hopefully I've made some money to retire from or with. So like, that scares me, thinking like I only have like 3 or 4 more games left in me. And if I make an MMO, probably no more, right? Like, that's my life now. I'm going to be working on that forever. So like, I don't know, part of me is like, I have too many ideas in this stupid head of mine, like, that I want to get out, and I just don't think I want to get sucked into a game where I'm locked into it for life, like, and sure, I do like the idea that like the MMO kind of takes off, blows up, and I can just hire a team of like 5 guys or whatever, or girls, whatever, whoever, I don't care, 5 people, 5 devs, to like keep adding content to it. That's a cool idea. I do like that. But there is a point where it's like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Obviously that's like a dream come true, but like, what are the chances of that happening? What's way more likely is I either like launch an MMO, it flops and doesn't make any money, or I launch an MMO, it lasts for like a year or so, people get bored of it and move on, and then it just slowly dies, And then I've wasted like 6 years of development for like a year of potential like money, like income, and hopefully we made enough money to like turn around and make a new game. But probably not, because I probably had a whole team working on that MMO, because I can't do an MMO solo. So like, I don't know. Like Swords of Magic, like if I just like cut and ran right now, I'm like, I don't have any money. Like there's no money left from this game. It's done. Like the only money I make, like, I don't know, $700 a month now on it, on like an average month. So I don't know, there's not a lot of money in it, and I just feel like an MMO would be very similar. I just don't think it's gonna, I don't know. I just want to make more games, I guess. That's where it comes down to, what it comes down to. Scaling, burst scaling, preventing heavy influx of users around events from crashing the servers. This stuff isn't your average dev's experience. No, this, yes, I realize that, but all that stuff would be handled with a back end. I mean, yeah, I guess like influx of users and things like that is a big deal, but like the back end, the Redwood back end has like what's it called? Sharding built in. So like if there's an influx of players, it just shards into a new shard. I don't know. And that's another thing, is I don't know the backend well enough to like build an MMO, which is why I'm not building one. I just don't think it's worth it. I game it whenever I cancel a sub, or I get it probably. Whenever I cancel a sub, I let myself buy something at that monthly cost right then, so I get a good buy. Something feels good, but don't have a recurring cost. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. That's pretty smart. I'm kind of a unicorn when it comes to devs. I know not only how to code and build systems, but also understand infrastructure and how to build and maintain that backend infra. Not trying to stroke my own ego. It's just that I worked at many startups where they forced me to wear too many hats and not enough pay. Yeah, fair enough. I feel you also kind of went with Swords of Magic without a real implementation plan. You definitely seem to be much more equipped to make games faster now with that experience. 100%. Yeah, so the biggest Swords of Magic issue, we're going to do another ad break snooze, I guess. The biggest problem with Swords of Magic was that I didn't know what I was getting into, right? I didn't know what I was doing, and neither did really anyone else on the team. And what happened is I let the community drive the development a little too much. I think now we're at a much better place. First of all, we don't have the community's not like booming now, so it's a lot easier to like just not take suggestions. But for a long time, because I was streaming and it was the first time I'd ever seen success in game dev, and people like were noticing me and like following and stuff. I ditch the branches for a parametric function just to keep it clean. Which branches? Oh, this one? I think this is fine. I can explain why if you want, but it's probably fine. There's a level of cleanliness and like organization and like modularity that I definitely like to strive for, but there's definitely a time when it becomes a step too far, and it's like it's just faster to get something done and then talk for half an hour on Twitch than it is to like implement like the most optimized design possible. Anyway, oh my god, what was I just saying? We snoozed an ad break because I was talking about something. Right, with Swords of Magic, sorry. Yeah, like I think early on it was just like I think I was just a little bit too in my head about it, or too my ego, maybe I was a little too blown up or something, I don't know. And basically, also like this is the first time I've ever actually made money doing something that I liked doing, you know, that wasn't just like going in and getting a job somewhere. And so I think part of it was like, oh my god, people are willing to donate money to add cool features to my game. Duh, like obviously, like I have an idea for a feature, let's add in, you know, bug catching, and then I put up like a donation goal and people would get excited about it and then start donating until we hit that goal. And it was like, hell, I was probably going to add that anyway. I may as well add it, you know, may as well make $100. But that's the problem, is that my brain was still thinking in terms of like, oh my god, $100 is so much money, because at the time, like I rarely had $300 in my bank account, right? And I know this is going to make me sound like I'm rich or something, but I'm absolutely not. But $300 to me now that I have a mortgage and a car payment right now, I mean, I had a car payment back then too that I was barely paying, and kids to feed, and like dogs to take care of, and like a house to maintain, and bills to pay, and like all this stuff, like a couple $100 that like it would take me like people would donate like a couple $100 and I would make like a feature that took me like a week to make, right? And that's like not enough money, right? If you think about it. So yeah, I was very stupid about that, and so we added way too much feature creep on early on, or way too much feature creep into the game. And the original game was supposed to be this tiny split screen or shared screen. It was, I guess it was more split screen. It was a split screen RPG with like a hub world and like 4 zones on the outside of the hub world that you went and explored, and then you came back to the hub world and like built your house or whatever you wanted to do, right? And that was it. And then once you like explored all 4 of those zones, the game was over. That was it. And we basically built, I had like probably about half that built in the first like 6 months, and I was really excited that we'd made that much progress. It was the biggest game and most like ambitious game I'd ever made. And then the feature creep started happening, and we started over because I couldn't add all the feature creep on because I didn't know what the hell I was doing in the beginning, because it was my first time in Unreal Engine, so I was building a lot of shit, and it was really garbage. It was just really bad. So I started over, and then I brought on a programmer, and we started over again. And then that time was when the feature creep really started hitting, and it was like, okay, we have a programmer now. I'm an artist. We're building this huge world. Oh, let's bring on a level designer. Well, now, hell, let's make our world 4 times bigger, 5 times bigger. So we made this massive world, right? We started making this massive world that was way bigger. The original game was probably about the same size as like this, right? This was like the original game. So instead, we built a tutorial island that was the size of the original game, and then we built this massive continent on the side of it, deciding, and also keep in mind that this massive continent was much larger, and I cut it way down. Well, actually, no, it's about the same size. Actually, yeah, I don't think I cut it down in this zone. This was all out to here, though, and there was a whole nother continent here we got rid of, because this was Dragonlance, and it's all gone now. So yeah, all of this was supposed to be filled in for early access, and then we were like, okay, well, we can get Windless Woods, Farmlands, Azura, and Bone Reach done, this whole section here for early access. Yeah, we got Azura done for early access. That was it. We were way in over our heads and had no idea how much content we were actually building. And that was, keep that in mind, that was just with basic quests. Like, we had no other features. We didn't have crafting. We didn't have cooking. We didn't have mounts. We didn't actually, we might have had mounts at launch. I don't remember. We didn't have like any of those things. And that sucked. Because just that much work, or just those like basic systems, just some basic combat with some basic enemies, took us like 10 times longer than we expected it to. So yeah, and the crazy thing is that what was supposed to happen at the early access launch at 1.0 was supposed to be this zone, this whole zone, this whole zone, and this whole zone. And the only thing we have now is this zone. Oh, where's my mouse? Hold on, I clicked something. This zone is launched, obviously. We then did Farmlands about 6 months later. Well, this whole section for Farmlands. Then we did Windless Woods about a year later. And then, like, I don't know, I think like a year and a half, 2 years after that, I did Delver's Pass. We still don't have Bone Reach done. It's like mostly done, but it's still not done. And through the process, we designed the rest of this world to have like a desert. We decided to add in the graveyard here, which was supposed to be expanded into a whole nother zone here. And then we have Alloran City, which is supposed to be like out here somewhere, which is a whole ass city that's like 4 times the size of Sleepy Haven. Then we have the Mistaken Isles, which are supposed to be like these big floating spires, which I started modeling recently, and I just probably need to scrap that. Then we have Iris Lake, which is a whole like zone similar to the Delver's Pass, but like a lake. And then we have this area, which is supposed to be like the Everwoods, which is like a red forest thing. And then we have North is North. Those are all the zones we were supposed to have in. And our 1.0 is like finish the game is almost 100% positive is going to be Bone Reach, if any of those things. Like, we might not even get Bone Reach in. It might not work. And the reason is because the game is so damn big now and so unoptimized that there's a very good chance, Thousand Needles, it's similar to Thousand Needles, but it's actually there's like poison gas in the bottom of it, and it looks like a floating islands. So it's kind of inspired by it, but it's totally different. Anyway, the reason the Bone Reach might not happen is because the game is so large now and so poorly optimized and has so much stuff in it that there's a really good chance that the second we turn it on and let players like explore it, everyone's frame rate is going to tank, and we literally just can't fix it. Like, there's a certain point when this game gets like too big and we have too many dependencies and too much stuff, and it just literally won't package anymore. It's gonna happen. And I know we're getting close to it, because we're getting all kinds of bugs now where in the editor everything works fine, and when we actually get a packaged game going, there's many issues. And all those issues are just happening because like things aren't loading properly, or like dependency chains are breaking. And it's really hard to like track those down and fix them. Really, really hard. So yeah, I hate to be like Debbie Downer over here because I know people hate it when I get negative about Swords of Magic on stream and like I talk negatively about it in public, but like it just is what it is, you know? Like this game was just so much smaller. I'm in the wrong business. Redwood is hella expensive for a simple wrapper around Agonis and Redis. What am I doing with my life? Are people really paying this? Redwood? Yes. And it is saving people a lot of time. If you want to reach out to the dev, I know him personally, and he's a good friend. I swear by Redwood. I think it's super, super handy, and it saves a bunch of time. It has a bunch of other features built in too. It's not just a wrapper, but I mean, yeah, it's very much sitting on the shoulders of other things. So redo the whole game, maybe faster. Definitely wouldn't be faster. And so there was a point when we were like refactoring everything. There was a lot of refactor going on, and then it was taking so long that I just told the programmer, I was like, no, I think we're just gonna stick to what we already have, and we did. And so that's why we're still on UE4 and we're on 426, and that's why we're like, it's so like I don't know, like the performance is just getting a little worse and a little worse every single update, and I don't know what else to do about it. But yeah, we're just at a point where there's not much I can do. We just have to trudge forward and hope that the game actually gets finished before everything implodes. So yeah, I need to know if the sequel to Swords and Magic and Stuff 2, or is it Swords and Magic and Stuff and Things? There unfortunately will probably never ever be a sequel to Swords and Magic. Though there was, for a little while, we did have an idea for also there's a ad break coming up real soon, just a heads up. There was plans or an idea for a Swords of Magic spin-off game. That was an open world survival game, or like a survival crafting game. And the idea was took place before inhabitants really took over Tyrwin. If you have ever been inside this cave in here, there's like notes in here from a previous like inhabitants of the island. They're like star children, kind of. They like came from space, whatever. I don't know, it's a whole long thing. It sounds really dumb and like stupid, but it's not quite that dumb and stupid if you like actually read the lore. But anyway, ad break is starting up any second, just a heads up, guys. You can subscribe if you don't want to deal with ads. Just throwing that out there. Twitch is paying me to say this. I'm not saying it. I don't want you to sub. I want you to save your money. I don't want you to give it to me. Twitch wants you to. Just saying. Anyway, but yeah, the idea was that you were going to play those people like before there were inhabitants and stuff in the island, in the world, and so you were essentially going to be the one like building all the old like ruins and stuff there in the world. You would be like the people that built those things. I thought that'd be kind of cool. So you would have just like started. It would just been like an empty world. So the idea was like, let's just take all the systems we already have, like crafting and base building and stuff, and like open it up so you can do it anywhere and place all your stuff wherever you want. And then just like make a new version of this world that's just like empty and let players play in it. And I was like, this is such a like stupid like cheat code to just make a whole new game. And I'm still a little tempted to do it because I feel like we could just like, I don't know. The biggest problem was like like transferring all of the like systems and stuff into a new project was a huge pain in the ass. So the idea was like, we'll just build it in this project or like duplicate the project or whatever, and then just rename it. Which would also be a pain in the ass. We could do it, and then we just use all the same systems to build a new game. Honestly, I think people do it more often than we think they do. It felt really scummy, but it would be a whole nother game, and we could just sell it for like $10 and probably make a good amount of money off of it. But yeah, we would need to kind of like, I don't know, finish the first game first. But then again, we would also be in the same boat as the team that built Palworld and Craftopia, because that's what they did. They built Craftopia. It was in early access for, I think it might still be in early access, actually. Let's go look, shall we? We're on an ad anyway. Actually might have left early access. Nope, still in early access. So they launched in early access the same month we did. They launched like 2 weeks before us. They do have 7,000 reviews and we have like 800. So they did much better than us for some reason. Probably because their game looks not like cubes, and is a big deal apparently in games. Which is another reason I will never make a sequel, Swords of Magic probably. That's probably the biggest reason. as I just think the QB characters, like the cutesy looking art style, was a huge problem. I think that's a huge turnoff for players. I feel like if this game had even just like if we just went like 50% more realistic, like we did like rounded heads, right? And like maybe like a low poly style. Like if we did something more similar to like the Arcane Toy Box style I do, I feel like that would have taken off. So it's honestly a real shame that like, I think the art style is a huge turn off for a lot of players. If this one on Switch, oh my, would it sell? Yeah, probably, but I honestly don't think it would run on Switch. Even the Switch 2, I just don't think it would run. I think it would run like absolute dog water. I mean, I'd be tempted to test it. I'd want to work with like a porting team because I think trying to port this myself would be a nightmare. But I personally just don't think it would run. It runs okay on Steam Deck. I mean, when I say okay, I mean it's like 40 frames per second, like caps. Like that's like with like lower graphics. It's not great. Let's go, Mr. Kindred. What's up, Arca? Arky? We're going Arc. Anyway, we're really out in the weeds here. It never left early access and was abandoned. I bought it when it came out. Yeah, we were watching it really closely when it launched because all of our mods were playing it when Swords of Magic launched, and I was really mad. All of our mods on Discord. Yeah, it was abandoned, but the reason it was abandoned is because the company built Palworld. And the only reason I think it has mixed reviews, I'm guessing, is probably because it was abandoned. No, never mind, because it's garbage. It's been pretty much mixed reviews since it came out, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So yeah, also people are just mad because it was abandoned. But yeah, they made Palworld, and obviously Palworld, you know, this game has 7,000 reviews, and it's like $15, so it probably made several $1 million. And then Palworld launched. Oh, you guys were probably listening to the sound, the trailer for that. I'm sorry, I didn't even think about it because I couldn't hear it. Overwhelmingly positive for Palworld. 148,000 reviews at $30. Jesus, oh my god, do you guys know how much money that is? 148,000 reviews at $30. That's assuming everyone, well, actually it doesn't matter. Here, let's go. Yeah, let's go to our Steam revenue calculator. Oh, that's the wrong button. This one. Let's put some things in here. Hold on, I lost it again. What I say it was 148,000. $148,576 will be really accurate with it. At $30. That's $213 million gross revenue. Net revenue is $63 million. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. No, the game is not running well because of the CPU. It's 100% CPU bound, not graphics bound. However, I actually think that some of that CPU bound is graphics related. I think it's draw calls. No, I'm crazy. Draw calls would be graphics card, right? So GPU, right? Or does it affect both? I think it affects both. Yeah, both, but mostly CPU. Yes, okay, so I was right. It's been a while since we've like looked into this, and I haven't thought about optimization in a long time, so I'm fuzzy on it. Also, it's not something that I really normally focus on because I have a lot of other stuff on my plate, obviously. Yeah, in our case, it is mostly CPU. Has to upload the data to GPU. Yes, so our CPU is bound, and here's the reason. Let me show you the reason. Watch this. Let's click on this building, right? Here's this building. How do we do the textures on this building? Well, when I first started Unreal Engine, I was told that the fanciest way to do low poly graphics was instead of UVing all of your stuff, you just don't bother UVing it, and you just put different material slots on all the different things you want, and then you just make a material instance, which was this fancy magical thing that was really, really cheap as long as you had one base material with pretty much just a color, and then you had all these instances that are different variations, and then it would have one draw call because they were all based on this one material. Therefore, only the one material had to draw, and they were just all variations of that. Well, that was an absolute lie. So this one building, okay, this is actually really low. This has 4 draw calls, this one building. This arrow of barrels, actually, it's multiple meshes, but the arrow is 3 draw calls. The barrel is 3 draw calls. This thing here is 3 draw calls. This shed is 4 draw calls. Shovels 2. Wait till there's way worse. Wait till let's go back over. Click on this guy. Oh, this guy's not merged together. So this guy's 6 draw calls, 7 draw calls. This is why the game runs like shit. I can guarantee it. Can you show console stat? Yeah. Yeah, in game, yeah. Okay, so this is also not the full game, right? This is our test levels. This runs much better than in here than the actual full game. But yes, it's definitely CPU bound. So I know part of it is just bad code, right? Like we were all kind of noobs when we started this game, so I know like the programmers didn't really know what they were doing fully, and neither did I as an artist, obviously, clearly. So we all made really bad choices early on. Show stats. That's not right. What's it called? Stat unit. Thank you. Is it just stat unit? Just stat unit. Got it. It's been a while since I've done this. So yeah, it's actually looking really good right now. Can you guys see that? I don't know why full screen. It's looking really good right now because again, only, like 10% of the world is loaded in. Right? But the thing is, like, when the whole world's loaded in, it's much, much worse. And now we do the first time I test play and like fly around and stuff, this always happens. We just like hitch for like a good 15 seconds or something, and then it doesn't happen again for a while. Usually, sometimes it does. This usually only happens when streaming, by the way. It doesn't happen when in a package build at all. This is very much a streaming issue, I think. I think it's just my graphics card or something, just like not knowing what to do for a minute. Anyway. Oh, stat game. I realized I hadn't reviewed. I just did. I'll get my friends to review the game. Hey, that's awesome, Hookshot. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, getting reviews is huge. This is hanging for a lot longer than it usually does. This might crash. I don't know why it would crash. Oh, there it goes. It does that. Anyway, yeah, it's running really, really well in here. But if I actually like load in the actual full map, first of all, last time I tried to open the full map, it crashed because it loaded for like 15-20 minutes and then finally just crashed. I had to force quit it actually because it just stopped responding. Oh, we're still hanging a little bit here and there. But anyway, we had level streaming going for a long time where we had a lot of different level streaming. So we had a lot of stuff unloaded and the game ran really well when things were unloaded. The problem was that once things started loading in and unloading, the game started like tanking in performance slowly over time. And pretty soon it got really, really bad. And what happened was when you unload something in level streaming, it sits in your like CPU memory, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember the technical reasons, but it's like sits in memory and has to be like it sits there and waits to be loaded back in. So it doesn't like, I guess, get garbage collected, I guess. I don't know. And then when you go back into the area again, it loads back in. Well, we had so many things unloaded that like when you loaded and unloaded things like going into town and stuff, things just started taking way too long to like load or unload. So things were just like, you'd be hanging out in town for like 5 minutes chatting with someone or something, or like at the tavern or whatever, and nothing in the tavern would be loaded. And pretty soon like things would just like pop, like something would pop in and then something else would pop in. It was a nightmare. There's stat game, world tick time, and blueprint time. So yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe it's not so much our draw calls, but our draw calls, yeah, I guess our draw calls are pretty accurate here. Too many ticking actors. Yeah, I mean, right now in this area it is. But yeah, no, I agree. there's a lot of issues. But the thing is, we've spent, like, we had a team of three programmers at one point, and they literally spent like weeks going through and like cleaning up a lot of the performance stuff, and we just didn't see much of an impact. I suggest making a tick manager. What's a tick manager? And let actors register to that. How does that work? The thing is, you have to remember this project is massive. It's not as simple as it sounds to just go through all the actors and say, okay, well, you're gonna register to this tick manager. But the tick manager for each loop over the actor and call the tick function by a custom event. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of actors in the project. I don't think that would work very well. I mean, there's a lot, guys. I don't think you guys realize how big this game is. Especially since we're not using level streaming. There's a lot of stuff going on in this world. I can't turn this off. Oh, it's gone. I don't know. Again, we had 3 programmers who were pretty experienced at the time going through and trying to optimize things. One of them had like a degree in computer science. Like, I don't know, they knew what they were doing, and I didn't at the time, and I still really don't know much about optimization. And we just couldn't we couldn't figure it out. Like, we couldn't find ways to resolve the performance. I even tried hiring Mike from Encanto Games to like do it, and he was kind of overwhelmed with it too. And he was like, I don't know how long it's gonna take me to like dig through and fix this, so it could be a week, and I couldn't afford him for a week, so we didn't do it. And making an RTS under the hood when you check tick. Okay, each actor register as tick. By combining them into a single actor, you avoid actors being registered separate. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how you would even do this in a game like this. Look at this. Hold on, the game's literally frozen. Like, the editor's literally frozen just trying to scroll through this. Let's go to, I don't even know. I rarely even use the content browser like this anymore because in fact, I never do. I always search for everything because there's so much shit in here. We have so many blueprints in here. That's all that's in there. That's all that's in there. Here's our actors folder. So this would probably be the majority of what's running on Tick is the stuff in here. But there's going to be like thousands. And keep in mind that this is just like, these are just the classes, like we're not talking about individual actors in the world. And many of these things shouldn't be running on Tick, but many of them are. Then we have weapons. Also, yeah, keep also in mind that every single weapon in the game is an individual blueprint, which is such a stupid idea. But we fixed this sort of with newer things like stabs and stuff lately. So now we only have like 10 staff blueprints and like 100 stabs, but not that many, but still. These are all the stabs. Those are actually old ones. Anyway, I don't know. There's a lot in here, you guys. I don't know if looping through thousands and thousands, I'm talking like probably like 50,000 actors is a good idea to run their Tick every frame. That sounds like it's just gonna crash the engine. Like, I mean, maybe if we turn off Tick on all those actors, maybe you're right. Maybe that actually saves us a ton of stuff. I don't know. Do all the actors ticking even need to tick, or just enable tick when interact / proximity? Yeah, you're probably right. Yes, there's probably many actors that are ticking when they don't need to. I like to think we don't have anything on Tick that we don't need on Tick, but there's probably a lot of actors that we just built and forgot to turn off Tick, right? Because it's on by default, which is so stupid. You can probably change that in project settings, but whatever. But another thing is, going through and checking every single actor in this would take me a week. I don't know. it's a big game to understand to then break it apart. Yes, exactly. If we did all this stuff in the beginning, this would be easy and smart. Right, I agree. But there's a lot. So spend the week, sometimes it'd be like that. That's easier said than done. I have other priorities. And this game rarely even gets a week of development time anyway. So if I actually spent a week on doing that, that's a week of development time. That's going to be like 3 months. Maybe not that long. Maybe like a month. Maybe a month and a half. But like, that's also a month and a half where I'm not making progress, which means there's not going to be an update. So we won't have an update for next month if I do that. And then the game doesn't make any money. There's money, guys. He spends time unticking. How will he yap to us? Wow. First of all, I would not do this on stream. That would be a huge waste of my time, and you guys would be bored to tears. Ticking is only part of the story. If you're using blueprints and you don't hook anything to the on tick event, Unreal disregards the tick even if it's checked. Yeah, so thank you. So that's good. I didn't know that was happening. But yeah, there's nothing hooked to most tick events. So yeah, performance is also a very nice update. You're right. Yeah. I don't know. Guys, I don't think you guys understand. Like, this game is so massive. There's a lot of stuff built on toothpicks, right? I don't think it's as like, even if we went through and fixed the ticking actors, I still think you guys would be blown away at how much there actually is like under the hood that wrong with this, right? This is not as simple as just like, oh, there we go, and we got 5 more frames per second. Like, that's not going to change the game. Like, it's not. We're at a point now where like squeezing some more performance out of it is not the issue, right? This game is very much behind on updates. It needs a major update to be finished, to be 1.0. And while fixing performance would be nice, there's still other big, huge issues. Like, I don't know, our crazy amount of dependency chains and our like circular dependencies. We have tons of them. We have major dependency issues. Like, there are things that are like literally like just circular dependencies that are like, there's so many of them. And we went through and tried to untangle this stuff a long time ago, but there's so many things that we all decided it would just be easier to build a lot of this stuff back from scratch, and we don't have the time to do it. But there's also just like so much shit in this game. Like, we have, I don't even know. I can't even like think of examples right now. There's so many places where it's like, oh, I found the blueprint that changes this thing for animal companions, for example, and I'll go in and like fix an issue that we had, and then I'll test, and I'm like, wait, why is this not working? And I'll spend like an hour trying to debug it, and then I realize that blueprint is not even a valid blueprint anymore. It's deprecated, but it's never been actually removed. So I go in and like try to deprecate it, and it breaks a dozen things that actually are children from it or whatever that need it. And I'm like, shit, I can't deprecate that, but we're not using this blueprint anymore for these other things. So then I have to go find the other blueprint that is being used, and that has a bunch of children and dependencies to it. Like, it's just a mess. And it's a 7 or an 8-year-old project now, and it's like it's beyond repair at this point by a single dev. I don't think I have the time in my life to go through and fix all the issues with this to get it running on like the Switch, for example. And I don't think it's worth it. Casting also very bad. Casting is not very bad. Make a branch and try the tick. No. First of all, I wouldn't make a branch. I would just probably push everything and then just do it. Branching in plastic is a pain in the ass. Not worth it. Casting is not good. Casting is fine. Yeah, casting is like it's negligent. Like, casting does not matter. Casting matters if you're casting to like a whole bunch of things that are not loaded yet. If you're it's a memory impact. So if you're casting to something that hasn't been loaded, then it's a problem. Casting makes load everything hang on it. What? Casting makes, what do you mean by that? Casting is fine if you know what you're doing. So, to be fair, there's probably a lot of casting in this project that shouldn't be casted. Like, here, let me show you an example. Let me see if I can find it, actually. Oh, shit. It's one of these blueprints. What is it? It's, Focus, I think. I think it's Focus info. Yes. This this is probably our biggest no casting. And I would love to fix this. Look at this. Look at this garbage. Look, let's clean this garbage up. Because look what we're doing here. Oh, cast the world drop master. Nope, not that. Okay, how about we cast a shop item? Nope, not that. Okay, how about we cast a plant? Nope, not that. Okay, let's cast a lore actor. Nope, okay. Let's cast this deprecate NPC. Nope, that's still around. Okay, let's go to AI humanoid. How about placeable actor? How about display case? How about resource node damage? No, let's try interact, do not use. Nope, play your character. AI generic. And then we probably have more down here. This is insane. This is the worst. This is 100% the worst culprit. And this never should have happened. This 100% should have been built into an interface and done the right way. And like this would be probably worth fixing. But I don't think I could have paid any of our programmers to actually go through and fix this because it's a nightmare. There's a lot of shit in this that needs to be fixed up. But that's the thing too. Like, guys, this is the worst part about this is that I've put so much time into this game already. And I'm at the point where like it runs good enough right now. I don't want to spend months going through and refactoring and cleaning up and adding performance updates and stuff so I can add more junk to this game. I am ready to be done with this game. What I want to do, right click reference viewer on this one. You guys, this one is nothing. Do you guys want to see the real thing? Oh, first of all, this is a 20 limit, so we're probably way higher than that. Do you see the problem here? Guys, I'm telling you, this is beyond repair. Fix tick and casting and it'll run way better. The casting is not bad anywhere else. I'm telling you, this is the bad one. This one right here is the only place we do this kind of shit. I don't know why we did it like this. This was like one of those situations where it was like, we built this thinking this is fine. And then we needed more things and we kept adding more stuff on. And it just got out of hand. And then it got to a point where it was like, we should probably fix this. And we never fixed it. It just kept getting added onto. This is the worst one for sure. And I could fix this one. This would probably take me a day to fix. Not a huge deal, right? Go build an interface for all these things we needed to, these are all just for focus. This shows up on the bottom of the screen here, right? I can build an interface that just says like focus, right? And then get the information I need. Easy. This would probably be an easy fix. Probably take me a full day, maybe a couple days to like clean it all up. And maybe we could fix the tick issue, but I don't think so. Because again, even if I turn off tick on every single actor, I go through every single one, and we have a tick manager, which again, I'm struggling to see how this is going to be performant. But I'm willing to look into it more. But I just feel like we're going to have like 100,000 actors we're ticking through. We have over 350 NPCs in the world that are all loaded in and running tick waiting to, well, you know what? I take that back. They actually get disabled and tick gets turned off automatically. The NPCs do. And the AI gets unloaded when they're not in the area because we have spawning zones. So there's that. But still, there's still thousands of items or like actors in the world at the time that need to be like probably running. I don't know if they all need to be running tick. There's probably a lot of them that don't. But still, I just feel like looping through every single one of those every single frame is going to be way more expensive than each one of those just running tick on their own. Right? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm not crazy. I don't know. This just seems really expensive. But I guess all of them running tick is also very expensive. I don't know. All right, back. Had a meeting. Welcome back, Red. Use interfaces and it will be use interfaces and it'll be way better. Yeah, agreed. Just replace each casting with an interface. No, yeah, I know how to do interfaces, guys. I know how to make games. I really do. You have to remember that this is not my magnum opus here. This is just a game this was literally my first like learning project in Unreal Engine. I have learned a lot since then. I know better ways to handle all this stuff. I know how to build games in a performant way now. I would never let another project get out of hand this much. This is what happens when we had 4 different programmers over the course of 7 years working on this, all kind of butting heads and like overlapping each other, and then trying to fix things and rebuild things. We have like 3 different like damage systems. It it's crazy because we had this whole like but yeah, this guys, watch this. You guys want to see, do you want to see the biggest culprit, like the biggest issue with this whole thing? You guys are gonna cry. If we go to player component, first let's open it. First let's open it so you can see what we're dealing with. This is the biggest problem. The famous Mr. Red. Okay, first of all, look at all these. Let's just close these. Maybe this will actually run a little better. Wait for it. Wait for it. So this is a component on our player controller. Someone a long time ago, I'm not going to try to name names because I don't even know who did it, decided to build this player component, and then we began adding everything to it. So here's our RPC event graph. This is all of our RPC, pretty much almost all, not all of them, but this is like probably 80% of our RPC functions in the game. We have an audio one. Glad we made an audio graph for this. The audio graph is about, this literally displays a sound location. Like, why are we even doing this? This is literally just the same goddamn node. Who made this and why? What is the point of this? Not RPC and anything, it's just there. Whatever. So this is our event graph, not a huge deal, right? Here's our login stuff. This is fine. This is not a big deal. But then you come down to here. Look at all of these functions. Look at all of this. These are all on one component. Pretty much have everything. Like, this is insane. And the problem is, watch this. This is where the problem is, right? This is like the biggest culprit. This is, the breadth limit is 100 on this. Let's go 1,000. Can we even do 1,000? Is it Unreal gonna crash on us trying to do this? Maybe, who knows? Tells you the number at the bottom. Oh, does it? At the bottom, what? I don't see a number. Can you check size map? Yeah. Set it back to like 5 or 10. Okay. Oh, 375. 201 on this side. Do you guys see the issue? Refactoring this game. Refactoring this game is literally just rebuilding it from scratch. Do you see the problem here? And that's why we're so close to the finish line that in my head it's like, this is not worth it. There's just nothing, there's no reason to like rebuild this whole thing. Let's just get it finished and say this is 1.0. Yes, it only runs at 30 frames per second. Deal with it. No one's buying it again anyway. You know what I mean? Like, we've already sold all the copies we're probably going to sell. 1.0, I think we'll see like a little bump in sales. Like, I'm willing to bet the game is made, grossed, and I said the other day we talked about this, and I said net, I think, but gross, we've made $750,000, which is a big number, right? We had to pay a whole team, we had to pay bills. That's over the course of 7 years of development. It's been a long time, right? Not really the amount of money that it seems like it is. It hasn't made enough money, but it has paid our bills for a while. Oh, ad time, sorry guys. Depends on how fast you type. I mean, search whole game casting replaced with a new interface took 1 to 2 days. I don't know if casting is going to be I don't think it's going to be the saving grace you think it is, to be honest. We'll see. Casting is a big problem here. I don't know. I don't think it's... How do I look at the... what do you guys want to look at? The... like the map? What was it? Size map. How do I check that? Oh, there it is. Duh. I'm not 100% sure how to read this, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good to me. Again, guys, I don't think it's worth it. Even if I magically woke up tomorrow and the code like game dev fairies came in and magically fixed all these issues, one of the biggest problems with this project is that it's 7 years old and I just simply don't want to work on it anymore. You know, I want to make new things, and this game is not selling anymore. Even if this project was 100% perfect and it was a shining star in the game dev sea and every single thing in this project was like exemplary. If Epic came to us and said, here is the Epic Games or the Unreal Engine Award because this game is so perfectly built, there's no issues with it, you are running at 300 frames per second no matter what you do in the game, everything's perfect. I still would be like, yeah, but I don't really want to spend the next 3 years building all these new zones and like keep continuing to work on this game. I just don't want to keep making it. So like in my head, it's like, do I want to spend months like fixing all these issues, or should I just wrap it up and move on, you know? I understand, but if you want good performance, it would help with interfaces. I agree. I 100% agree with you. I do agree. I don't know if just swapping interfaces is going to be like swapping the cast to interface is going to be the solution, because like, I don't know. I don't think that's going to fix the performance. And like the performance is not absolutely terrible. Like, let's go load up the game and look what performance is while I'm streaming. Keep in mind we're streaming, so it's going to be a little worse. And I have the engine open. Hang on. Steam's taking a second to load. Sorry about the noises. The dog is chewing on her toy over here. Sorry. Found it. 90 FPS to 140 on my game. Just getting rid of all casts. The thing is though, like there's definitely times when casting is okay, right? Like just getting rid of every cast is not the solution, right? There's a lot of times when, like, for example, if I need to get access to the time manager, right, in my game, and so I do like, I don't know, for example, this is a dumb example, but like there's a few places. Why is this such a weird aspect ratio? We'll fix it in a second. There's a few places where we have, yeah, why is this happening? Hold on. I might have to try it. F11. There we go. Fixed it. Okay, I have 125 frames per second on this page. That's great. Let's hit play. That's obviously going to change right now. Casting is only okay to base object like actor or character controller, then it won't load all the rest with it. Right, yes. Casting, no. Well, you can cast to anything you want as long as it's already loaded in. Like, so we have a time manager, yeah? It's called new time manager because we had an old one. I don't know. Don't ask me. I didn't build it. So we have a time manager. Reference viewer should look small. Yes. So we have a time manager. I can call like get time manager from my like game state, for example, which has a reference to it as an actor, right? I don't know why it's an actor reference, but it is. It's not the type time manager. So I have a reference actor. I can call to that, or I can get that reference as an actor and cast to it, and it's going to load in the time manager. And that time manager will already be loaded in, so casting to it does nothing. And the time manager is the only actor. There's no children of the time manager. It's a manager. It's a singleton. It does its own thing, right? There's like casting to that is not going to affect me. So look, we're at 43 frames per second. I'm streaming. I probably have my graphics turned all the way up, which doesn't really affect the game at all, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, it affects what it looks like, but that's it. We're running at 40 frames per second. I'm perfectly happy with running this game at 40 frames per second because my computer is a 2080 GPU, and I do have a Ryzen 9 though. But it's an older one. I'm very much happy with 40 frames per second. I do not have a problem with this. I'm also streaming, and we have Unreal Engine open. if I weren't streaming and I didn't have Unreal open, which is the case for 90% of people playing this game, then the game is going to run pretty damn well, and I'm happy with that. A human eye can't see over 6 frames a second, so this game is amazing. 6? You mean 60? I don't think it's 60, but it's more than 6. I feel like you guys are hearing things on forums and on YouTube videos and taking that as gospel. Guys in game development, everything is subjective to how you're using it. Beating Kindred over the head with it doesn't really feel like it's helping. I mean, I appreciate the opinions and it's good to know, but again, I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, yes, there's a lot of places where things are a big deal in this project we shouldn't be doing. I 100% agree with you. There's a lot of things wrong. But, like, what am I going to save here? If I spend 2 months, 3 months fixing all this stuff, I mean, hell, to be honest with you, if I was fixing all this stuff, it'd probably take me 6 months. Like working full time, I'd probably be taking 6 months to fix it, right? I really would, because there's a lot to fix. Like, and I know that. There's a whole lot to fix. I was off, dude. So if I spent 6 months fixing all this stuff and I got 60 frames per second while I'm streaming and have Unreal Engine open, sure, that's cool, but I just don't think it's worth it. I don't think anyone is playing this game and going, oh, 40 frames per second? Refund. You know what I mean? Like, no one is playing this low poly game and saying, wow, how the hell am I only getting 40 frames per second? Oh, well, okay. Let me rephrase. A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people play this game and say, how come I can play Tarkov at 60 frames per second, but your game is 40? Like, I do get that comment a lot, but I don't give a shit. Because, like, if you're worried about the frame rate on the game and that's why you buy it, then this isn't your game in the first place. And that's fine. But yeah, it's an indie studio. It's our first major project. It was our first major project. It's gonna run like shit. It's okay. I don't know. Ark ran way worse, and Ark had like no content. I mean, compared to this, I mean, I had a lot of content, but like the content was like repetitive survival stuff. It's not like an RPG. He's a low-level engine programmer. Hold on. Was he talking about the players? Wait. Hell, I know a lead engineer on. Let me just get caught up. I'm way behind. Honestly, the human eye, blah blah blah. My friend had 20 FPS and refunded it because of that. I mean, that's fair. Like, I get that, but like, I see the refund numbers and they're not that crazy because first of all, people can play the demo. A lot of people play the demo, and if it doesn't run well, they're not going to buy the game, and that's fine. I was being silly, so I said 6. Yeah, it's like, I don't remember what it is, but I think it's like 90 something or 100 something. I can see it 100 and something. I don't know. I think maybe it might be 120. Might be more than that. Whatever it is, like the best TVs, like anything over like I think it's 144 hertz. I think is like overkill because your eye can't see that fast anyway. So it'll look the same to you. Hell, I know lead engineer on League of Legends. He says constantly that it's just full of broken shit. He will never get the chance to fix. Yeah, this is how game dev is. Game dev is not perfect. You're not going to have everything fixed. Hollow Knight is built on a bed of jank and hopes and dreams. True. Many games are. And again, if this game was like, if I was still gung-ho, we had a full team and we were like, you know, we still had we had sales coming in and like people were still hyped about the game and like people were writing articles about it and like people were actually playing it and buying it, then I would 100% be like, yeah, we need to fix all this shit. Let's get it fixed. So let's spend a month, let's spend 2 months, 3 months, whatever. We're all going to team up on this. We're going to knock it out. We're going to fix all these casting issues. We're going to add interfaces in where they need to be. We're going to split up this stupid player component into multiple components and like not have dependencies everywhere. And then I 100% agree, all those things should be fixed. But the problem is that I just don't have the motivation to make this game anymore. I don't want to work on this for another 3 years. So even if the game ran perfectly, I still wouldn't want to like add all these new zones to the game. Because at the end of the day, the time it takes to make this game is not because the performance is bad. Yeah, like there is a lot of time wasted in like me diagnosing and fixing older issues, trying to add new things in, right? Where I'm like, let's add the time, or like the weather system, right? Like I had the weather system in and it broke a bunch of stuff with like our lighting, right? So I had to go back and fix all that. So there's things connected where like adding new stuff does take time to like build things, to rebuild things or whatever, or fix stuff. Donation goal to get coder that fixes this. Yeah, I mean, if someone wants to, like, it's gonna cost like, I'm guessing at least $5,000, $2,500 to $5,000 to hire a coder for a month to fix all this. So if someone wants to donate $5,000, be my guest. Go right ahead. It'll blow the sandwich goal away of $10 that I've had up here for like the last 3 months. So hey, I do it for $7,000. See, perfect. If I only had $7,000 lying around that wasn't already going to bills for the next like 3 months. Yeah, I love the idea, guys. Don't get me wrong. I love the idea of just having all this stuff fixed. It's just not that easy. And again, if I spend time fixing all these issues, spend 6 months fixing all these issues, I'm not spending time building content to get the game to 1.0. I just don't think it's worth it. At the end of the day, it's just not worth it. Like, I would rather just get the game finished and say, cool, that was my first project. It's finished now. Let's make a better one. Right? Like, we're at the point where it's like, I learned what I was going to learn from this project, and it was cool, and it made some money, and it got my feet into game development, and I get to do this full time now, but now it's time to launch a new game. Like, we're just too deep in it. It's not worth fixing at this point. And I know I'm arguing with myself at this point. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. And if your friend had 20 frames per second, I think it's time for an upgrade, because like, if I'm running this with a 2080, like a 6-year-old computer at this point, and I'm getting 40 frames while streaming with Unreal open in the background, I mean, yes, my i9 is probably pulling a lot of weight here. I do have a pretty decent graphics or CPU, but still, I don't know, man. 20 frames per second is pretty low, even for this project. It's pretty low. I know it happens. Like, my daughter's PC can't run this very well, so she gets about like 20 to 30 frames per second. Her laptop, but still. Releasing game is easy. Press the release button. Releasing a game is easy. Yeah, and I literally could go in right now and press like launch, right? And then Steam would push the game and it'd probably make a bunch of money and people would be like, cool, this is great. But I'm not happy with it. I have to wrap things up. People are begging for certain features, like skill trees are almost done. They're going to go in soon. The calendar system has to go in because we were doing seasonal events, and I feel bad that we're not going to do those anymore because it takes a lot of time in winter and fall, and cuts into vacation time for us and like things that we want to do as a family. So I don't want to be doing that every single year forever and ever. And I don't want to just end it. So we're building the calendar system so players can still have those events and get access to those cool items that are locked behind those seasonal events. We got to build some sort of time mechanic so people can like slow down those events and enjoy them longer, and also speed them up so they can get to them faster. Even though I still think just server hopping is the way to do it. But yeah, there's just a handful of things we got to do. We also have to knock out we still have a lot of Kickstarter rewards we got to knock out still. We haven't finished those up yet. Like, we have a lot of weapon designs to put in, and a few quest designs. And I would love to get Bone Reach done, but I'm not sold. I'm not married to it. Like, Bone Reach is a huge endeavor, and I think it's going to take like 6 months to build. Like, because again, I'm one person building it. And one of the biggest problems is, beside like all the functional issues we need to like resolve, right? As I'm building things and I have to like fix old things and it breaks new things, whatever, or breaks old things. One of the bigger problems is that every single zone we added new mechanics. So like the first zone just had like basic crafting, right? And then we added alchemy in the second zone. And then the third zone we added, I don't know, other things. But we keep adding more and more things in, like fishing, stuff like that. So every single time I add a new zone, because of all these, and like sometimes I add in a feature and we have to go back to an old zone and add that feature in too. So we add in more like resources or whatever for it. But now when we get to Bone Reach, we have so many features that I have to build mechanics for every single one of those. Like, we have to make new animal companions in Bone Reach because we already have them in the game, so we have to have new ones, right? Of course, we can't just like release Bone Reach without having any new animal companions. Like, I don't know, I guess we technically could, but we're not going to. We have to add in like new enemy types. I have to add in new spells that you can find. I have to add in new weapons you can find. I have to add in new crafting recipes. I have to add in, we have like totems and stuff now, so we got to add like more of that kind of stuff in. We have a quest somewhere where you're supposed to take a druid who's stuck in shape-shifting form as a bear. You're supposed to take him to a place in Bone Reach, so I have to build that quest and like figure out how the hell I'm going to handle that. Because it originally was supposed to be you take him there and then you learn shapeshifting so you can learn spells to shapeshift into a bear and then fight as a bear. And that sure as hell ain't gonna happen now. So I gotta like just, I guess, heal him or whatever and then give you a, I don't know, because you're gonna lose your mount, but I gotta give players something in exchange for that. And tinkering, yeah, there's supposed to be tinkering in Bone Reach, which I'm thinking we're gonna just shove into blacksmithing now. There's just so much. There's so much stuff I have to build, and I'm only one person building it. So I would pay for remastered. I mean, hell, this is what I've always said, is I will put in the amount of effort that correlates, or I will put in the amount of effort equal to the amount of success, right? So if we launch at 1.0 and for some reason some big streamer picks it up and is like, holy shit, this is a hidden gem, this game has so much content in it, I don't know how we missed this, I'm so excited to play this game, and they play the shit out of it and a ton of people buy it and it suddenly makes another $150,000 or something, then I don't see any reason why I wouldn't add more to it. And that is the time when I would say, you know what, let's add more content, let's do a huge performance pass, let's add a ton of stuff, let's make this new zone or something. You know, we'll add in Mistaken Isles or something, right? We'll, like, I think that would be more than justified. And I would probably be hyped too, right? Seeing the game blow up, I'd probably be super excited about working on it again. Hell, maybe if we made that much money, I could bring on another dev to like help me build the next zone or something. So yes, and 100% we'd go through. Maybe I'd bring on a coder to help me go through and like performance fix. Maybe I'd hire one of you guys because clearly you guys know what the hell you're doing. And I don't. And then I would bring on another, like maybe a level designer or something, or someone who would just help me like build out like the content in the zone, like a content designer or something. And that would be awesome, you know, and we knock that out and do like another update, maybe a DLC or something, who knows. But at this point, here's my prediction. I think I'm gonna hit 1.0. We're gonna launch Bone Reach. We're gonna see a big wave of sales. We're gonna get, you know, I don't know, maybe we'll make like $10,000, right? This is, I'm pretty sure we'll make like 10,000. Which is a good chunk of money. That'll pay my bills for 2 months, right? It'll probably be enough money to pay for like 2 months of my bills while I, you know, coast to like make a new game. And I think we'll see like a nice trickle off in sales. I think we'll still see like 10,000 like the first like month or couple or a few months, whatever. And then I think it'll drop down and we'll make like, you know, maybe like a couple $1,000s a month for a little while, which would be nice to, you know, cover bills or whatever. But I truly think that at that point, we're going to see the tail just completely cut off. And we're going to be back down to like $500 to $1,000 a month, which is not enough to pay any of my bills, which means I'll be back to working contract jobs and like making another game, which is fine. I'm down for that. Like I'm upset about that. That sounds like a really good scenario. Like I'm really happy with that result. But that's my point, right? Is that spending all of this time to like refactor and like polish and like optimize and everything isn't going to be worth it, because when we launch it, even if we launch it 80 frames per second, like that's our minimum, right? Even if we launch that, I just don't think it's going to change those sales numbers very much. Like optimizing the game is just not going to be enough to like blow this game up and like suddenly we have, you know, hundreds of thousands of new players. So this looks sick. Thank you. It's a hidden gem, I guess. Hey man, when can we expect another video? You know, I don't know. I don't really like making videos, and so I don't really make them very often, and I have not really been making a ton of progress on Swords of Magic lately. I've actually been working on it quite a bit recently, let's be honest, but I don't know, not enough to like, I don't know, we have an update coming out like next month probably, hopefully, if all goes well. And maybe I'll do a video about it then, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of making YouTube videos. It's not like my cup of tea, and they don't always like perform super well, especially since I don't make them often enough. And then I like get in this phase where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start knocking out the videos. I'm going to start like, I'm going to really focus on this. I want to hit 100K subscribers. And then like I start working on it and I'm like, you know, I really like making games. I really don't like making videos. And I really don't care if I have 100,000 subscribers. I only made videos in the first place to promote Swords of Magic. And I just don't know if I want to keep making videos. It's just, that's not my art form, you know? So, and it is daunting and it's hard and it takes a long time and it drains me fast. So I don't know, maybe we'll make more videos. Maybe we won't. Maybe it's gonna be one of those things we just don't focus on that. I don't know. There's a lot of like YouTubers out there who make like a lot of money on devs who, sorry, YouTuber devs, sure, they make, I think, most of the money on their videos, you know, like Thomas Brush, for example, right? He's clearly a YouTuber first, game dev second. And I think he's actually even like called that out and said he's not, you know, but I think he is. Like, he makes way more money on YouTube than he does in his games are at the moment. Maybe when his game launches, that'll change, you know, but, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to like throw shade or anything either. I think that's totally fine, but like, that's just not me. I don't like making videos. I want to just make, I like streaming. Streaming's fine. Like, and I would like to start streaming more often. I'm going to start doing it more regularly, but making videos is just a lot of work, and it's just not what I've really been into. So I don't know. I'll probably make, there's some stuff loading in there, obviously. I will probably make another video for the next update that comes out. We'll see, but don't hold your breath. I don't know. Do you think the videos would greatly help get people to know about your games, but completely understand the struggle? Yeah. How many wishes game had before release? I think we had about, oh, you know, this is not a good question to ask me. I think we had like 6,000, but I think if I remember correctly, we had a big burst right before sale, or right before the game launched. So I think we might have hit 8,000. I think it was about 8,000. And then we actually hired a marketing team. We spent $10,000 on a marketing team. And as far as I'm concerned, they did absolutely nothing. They just didn't, like, I don't know. I think it was a huge flop and a huge waste of money. I don't know if we even made that money back. I mean, we did eventually, but I don't think they made us that money back. You know what I mean? Like, I think they might have made us like a few $100s, if that. Like, they were so like out there, like with the way they were doing marketing, that they were like literally sending us emails telling us that a newspaper in the UK wrote about our game. And I'm like, what? Or no, they didn't write about the game. They ran an ad in their newspaper. And I'm like, dude, no one who plays this game is reading a newspaper. Like, nobody. Why would you pay to run an ad in a newspaper? And in the UK, like, that's a random place. Do like teenagers read newspapers in the UK? Like, I just don't know why anyone in their right mind thinks, you know what? I want to know what cool games are coming out this month. Let me flip through the Times. Like, no one, what are you talking about? I don't know. We talked about this? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think we had 8,000 wish lists or so. That's how I discovered your game. Oh, Zombie 2, I'm so glad that happened then. It was worth it. Well, money well spent, I suppose. That's so funny. I don't know. I'm not even like mad about that anymore because it's too funny. You know, I really wish I had a copy of the newspaper though. Like, I should have been like, can you get us a copy of the newspaper? I don't care what you have to do. We paid you $10,000. The least you can do is get me a copy of the damn newspaper that we're in. Anyway, I don't know, guys. I really do love this game. Like, it obviously holds a special place in my heart. Like, my daughter was born right before I started working on it, you know, so like she grew up with this game. Like, I don't know. I feel like it would be weird if I was in here working on a different like main project and wasn't working on Swords and Magic anymore for her. Like, cause this is just what our life has been. Like, every day she would like come home from school and, you know, mom and dad are working on Swords and Magic. Your kid loves it. That's awesome. That's so cool to hear. Yeah, she's been trying to convince one of her friends. She just got a laptop. One of her friends just got a laptop to play Swords and Magic now. Oh no, she got a desktop, I think. Whatever. With her, and so Gianna keeps asking her like, "Are you guys gonna do a Swords and Magic party or something?" And we even tried to convince her to bring her invite her friends over and play Swords and Magic. We even tried to convince them to play Hytale, is like do like a party, but no, they'd rather just play Roblox. We play it with them all the time. That's awesome. That's really cool. For 1.0 sponsors Splattercat to play the game on Twitch. I have contacted Splattercat 3 times. I sent 3 emails to Splattercat. He was not interested in playing the game. Maybe when at 1.0 he'll play it. I'll try again. That is the plan for 1.0. We will. I want to sit down with Gianna and like basically just dig through YouTube and find anything we can find, and YouTube and Twitch. YouTube I think is more valuable than Twitch. Just because the videos like are evergreen, you know what I mean? Like, not evergreen, but they're like there all the time. But like, as soon as a Twitch streamer is done streaming the game, then like they're not promoting it anymore, you know, and they might never talk about it again, which sucks. But I think YouTube is the way to go. So I think actually Twitch streamers, I'll probably ask around and try to like find big Twitch streamers that people like in the community watch or whatever. But other than that, I don't think we're going to focus on them. Plus it's so much harder to like reach out to Twitch streamers sometimes, but YouTube is much easier. So I think the plan is we'll reach out. We'll probably send like 100 keys out at least. I want to send like 100 emails through Twitch. I would love to like run some ads or something, but everything I've been hearing lately is it's not worth it. You don't make your money back. So I don't know if we will. You can get lucky, but YouTube is where it's at. Agreed. I'm actually tempted to reach out to like TikTokers too, because that seems to be a big, or getting even bigger. And I think that might be a good way to like get people to play the game and showcase it. Anyway, so I think that's the plan. I don't know what else we're going to do besides just like throwing out some press releases and stuff, but I don't know. I'm really excited to get 1.0 though. We're really close. We're only like a few features away and then like hopefully another zone. But honestly, I'm kind of tempted to just hit 1.0 this year and see what happens. And if it gets big enough that I feel like it's justified to finish Bone Reach and launch it, then we might do it. It probably wouldn't be a DLC. I don't think I'd do Beyond Bone Reach as a DLC. I think I'd feel too guilty doing that. I think Bone Reach would maybe it'd be a free DLC, just so it's like an extra download or something, just so it feels like a big content update. But it might just be better as just a free update. I don't even know why would you even do a free DLC now that I think about it? Like, what would be the purpose of that? Ad break is starting soon. Damn it. That sucks because we need to wrap up because it's 2 a.m. and I have a appointment in the morning.
Yano Junior just followed.
I'm trying so hard to get to the thing. Thank you for the follow, Jarno. Appreciate that. And Zoan Beast, I missed your follow, but thank you. Appreciate it. If you're still here. Anyway, I don't know, guys. I think the game runs pretty well. I mean, everyone's probably like dip into like the 20s, but this happens to me on most games. Like most games I play are not at 60 FPS anyway. And I'm streaming, so it's like, I don't know. I think it's all right. Hollow Knight did 4 free DLCs every time their sales spiked a lot. So my question is, what is it like? I wonder what the difference is between a free DLC and just doing a free update. You know what I mean? Love the style. Thanks, Jarno. Appreciate it. The style of the stream and the style of the game. I also have this huge backpack on, so you like can't even see my character. And also he's like, oh, I thought I was dressed for, I am dressed for Christmas. I always forget I can't drag my character. I want to fix that. Maybe I'll make like an invisible button that does the exact same thing as this. Let's change our hat and our mask. Let's just take that off, and we'll switch to like let's do this one. For fun. Anyway, you can skip DLC, but free update is mandatory, I guess. Yeah, but I mean, like marketing wise, like I wonder which one Steam pushes more. Because obviously, like, I mean, first of all, it's Hollow Knight, right? Like, Hollow Knight gets the pass. Like, they can do whatever the hell they want to do. You know, they're gonna get sales no matter what they do. They can literally just be like, hey, posting here to let you know that we just went to the bathroom and people are going to buy the game. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what they do. But I do wonder, like, what the difference between, like, because first of all, like, free DLC seems like a waste of time, right? Like, why not just make it a free update and build it into the game? The free DLC, I guess, is just, I don't know, maybe if it's like an overhaul or something, like a DLC that like changes something drastically that you might want to turn off, then I guess I get it. But like Bone Reach, for example, could be a DLC. Like, we could do that if we wanted to sell it, but it seems like it'd be stupid to do as a free DLC, because why would you not want it? You know what I mean? Like, why would anyone not want it? Maybe performance reasons, I guess, perhaps. I don't know. I guess that could work. And just be like, hey, just a heads up, if you download the Bone Reach DLC, you're probably gonna get bad performance. Heads up. Or maybe if like it'd be kind of cool to do like a DLC where like the world is like destroyed or something. You know, that could be kind of neat. It's almost just like a DLC that just kind of like overhauls the world. Like it just would just like load in a new map, right? But it's about perception. An update says to players we fixed stuff. DLC says we added stuff. That's fair. Yeah, I think. Well, I think that's gonna be hard for me to break that perception too, because in early access, an update means there's new stuff, right? And there's always new stuff in our updates. I think the only time there's ever an update for Swords and Magic that doesn't add new stuff is right after an update that added new stuff that broke stuff. Because we had to fix those things. My throat is hurting so bad from talking too much. Free DLC makes sense when you have in-game transactions. What? How does that make sense? Explain yourself. Steam pushes stuff that makes money for them. Yeah, you're right. Free DLC sounds more worthy than free update, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, guys, is this ad break over? It is over. I hate to do this right after an ad break, but I have got to get some sleep. It is 2 a.m. I don't even feel tired at all, which sucks because I really need to sleep. Because I do have an appointment in the morning. So I will probably be live again tomorrow night. I'm not going to make my 10 a.m. stream like I normally do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I will stream tomorrow night again. So we will see you then. I need more whiskey because I just drank the last of our peanut butter whiskey. So, yeah, but I'll get some tomorrow. Anyway, you guys are the best. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. And I know I was very harsh about like, not like criticism, but like negative about like, I don't know if I want to fix performance issues. But I really 100% do sincerely appreciate when you guys give tips on things like that. Like I've heard of a tick manager before, but I've never even considered like what that means or like how to like implement it. But I'm 100% going to look into it and see if it's something that I could just easily implement in this project in some way. Yeah, because that would be really useful. I wonder if there's like a tick manager like plugin that would just goes through and like sets that up for you automatically. There's probably something like that. I look into it, but I really do appreciate all of the feedback and your guys' thoughts. It does mean a lot. It's nice hearing that you guys care about the game enough to like, you know, help me try to fix it. That's cool. And I really do want to fix performance issues, and I think for the 1.0 update we might do a big I might do a big performance pass and just clean some stuff up and try to squeeze a few more frames out. Just, I don't know. I would absolutely love to get this on the Switch. Like that would be killer. I would absolutely like love it. Just on any consoles would be huge. I would have to do a huge overhaul for gamepads and stuff though, because it doesn't work very well on gamepads in my opinion. Like I would just need to like fix a lot of stuff to make it run smooth. We would probably need some sort of like more context menus, like you're holding the button down, you get like a radio wheel and stuff like that. Because we just don't have enough buttons on a controller to do everything you need to do. But guys, I don't see anyone to raid. Do you guys want to raid somebody? Oh, let's go raid Ginger Dev. He's in the stream all the time. We should go raid him. Right? Wasn't he just in the stream? I'm not crazy, am I? Usually comes in. I think I can do it in here. I think that worked. Oh. Hello? Yes, that worked. Cool. We're gonna raid Lay Ginger Dev. Switch is is the one for this art style. Yeah, I agree. I think Xbox would work really well too, because Xbox is very like party game. At least that's like my conception of that, or my perception of Xbox, because I played when it was like party games. But I don't know. A PlayStation probably could probably take it or leave it. I'm sure it would make money, but like I don't know if it's like the place to put it. Switch 100%, especially Switch 2. That would be huge. So yeah, hopefully some of the performance things get fixed up and we can actually we could do that. That'd be awesome. I personally don't know if it's possible because there is a lot to go through, but if I can get some low-hanging fruit to clean some of the stuff up, like the casts and stuff like that, and maybe clean up some of the tick things, then maybe that would be huge. And it would be enough to get on there. We'll see what happens. But anyway, you guys are the best. I will see you again tomorrow night, and I might have glasses. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I don't know if they're going to be super useful in UE4 since everything is easy to read, but UE5 would be useful. Anyway, you guys are awesome. I will see you guys next time. Have a good night or morning or whatever it is for you. Bye.